Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement. We are awake, we are awake, we are not alone. We are striving for more. So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, we are awake. If you feel weak, run down, and are easily upset, start taking today.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday.
That's right. TGIF to you all. Happy Friday. Welcome to Iron Rail Media and to Have No Sphere right here on the Iron Rail Media YouTube channel and on our Rockfin channel. I do believe we are on Facebook and DLive and a few other places as well. So hello to you all. What the hell I got going on here? I don't know. Got some weird stuff happening. I'm not sure what I did. Interesting. That wasn't there just a second ago. The big joint burning at the top. I don't know where that came from. Interesting. Anyway, we've got an exciting guest. Hot on the heels of his awesome tour, we are joined this evening by Martin Liedtke, and we'll get to him in just a minute. But first, let's say hello to the rest of the crew. Starting off with my favorite female because, well, she's the only female here. This is Cammie Nodell. Cammie, my dear, it feels like it's been forever, although we did have a chance to catch up there on 420. But beyond that, we've had a nice long break, and it's good to be back, and it's good to have a chance to talk to you again.
Well, hello there. It is so nice to be here. It is Friday night. Springtime is happening. It was a great break, and it's good to be back. And big things are happening. Again, conferences being planned and gardens being planted, and you're looking all confused, Josh. Really confused.
There's just this joint that's burning at the top of the screen, and I'm not quite sure where it came from or how to get rid of it. So my look of confusion is me trying to figure out what the hell that game and what it's doing.
Well, if you get a hold of it, why don't you just pass it my way?
Will do, definitely.
And we can right now move on to Zach. I want to get to the guest on it, but move into the house. And we'll say welcome Zach in the gardens and everything here. Happy Friday, Zach.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, it's I am out inside quite just yet.
There we go.
That's better.
Can you guys hear me?
We can,
but for some reason,
I found it. Sorry, I lost everything here. My apologies.
Yeah, I'm just sitting out looking at all this beautiful stuff, and yeah, it's Friday. It was a good break. Got a lot done. Built those 2 beds and a bed around the side, and plans to take out a couple of trees and put in
Uh-oh, we're losing you again, Zach.
You dropped for
Just said
just
it.
a second, so now you're muted.
Now you're muted, and like you're talking, you're muted. You'll have to Zach there.
That
There
is
you
so
go.
weird.
I think a little too much bandwidth, maybe with the camera and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But it's really
But
pretty.
it's Friday, and yeah, it's a beautiful day. I just can't go inside yet. The hummingbirds are starting to come out now, like hardcore. As soon as the sun goes behind the trees, they seem to come out a lot. I bet the nectar cools off a little bit or something. I don't know, but yeah, they're starting to fight over the feeder, so it's fun out here right now.
And you are picking it up on the camera. That's fabulous on it. This is pure happiness in the springtime. I know my turn was over, but I'm back looking with joy at the garden beds that I just learned. If you talk to the anal people on YouTube, we are really close. We are 1 week from when we should be planting our first vegetables safely without fear of frost. And we went gangbusters. We went early. We went big. And it had a night that had light bulbs in there, but everything is fabulous. And I love being ahead of the game. We are ahead of the curve there, buddy. Thank you.
Put in some asparagus, blackberries, and raspberries, and already eating strawberries. It's a good season. Good season so far. I hope all you other gardeners out there are as blessed. All right, I know there's another guy in here somewhere. Lurking around.
Yeah, he's here. Hi, everybody. I was fumbling around, had too many things open, and lost my whole screen. But I'm back, and I found you guys. How are y'all? Missed you terribly. All those here and all those in chat, I see you. Actually, I was first. Those who shall be last will be first. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here. I ramble a lot. I'll shut up and let us get on to our amazing guest who I was able to luckily get in here the last second with my fumbling around. Anyway, appreciate it, and I will shut up. How are you, Josh? I guess is the question.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'm good.
Yeah, how is Josh? Did you have a good break?
I did. A little too good, if I had to say much of anything. It was, probably the way I would describe it. Maybe just a little too good. I enjoyed myself and not having to have a whole mental checklist that I have to go through thrice weekly and twice at 3 a.m. And that last one after a 3 a.m. morning and working all day and coming home and still having to remember I change all my dates. Shout out, Liz. Love you. Hope you're in that chat. I haven't really looked that closely yet, but I know it's late for you. And 6 was just probably not in your wheelhouse to stay up. So rest well. But yeah, I forget lots of things. So it's nice to not have to have the shame and guilt of not being able to bring my best, because I just have so many other things going on that some things fall through the cracks. So it was nice to not have to carry that around for a few weeks. So again, maybe I enjoyed it just a little too much. But yeah, several adventures.
It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. I was missed everybody immensely. It's not as though I just washed my hands and whistled as I walked away. That's a lot of W's, has that for alliteration. But I missed everybody a lot, but it was one of those things that I had to sacrifice because I knew in the end it would pay off. And I sort of had to make a bit of a clean break detox, sort of, I think, for it to really sit in. And I did. And I really enjoyed it, had a blast. But we are back, and I think we're going to come back swinging, if you want to call it a season. We'll just revisit.
We started it with a bang, I must say.
With a bang. Yeah, well, 420 was a lot of fun. It really was. Since I'm being honest and overly sharing, the guilt and shame I did carry around with me during our break was this 420 show and all the things I had to do. But enjoying my detox so much that finally, not till the very, very end, within the last few days, did it finally just get to be too much. And I broke down and just crammed and spent 3 days just trying to do as much as I possibly could. And had a lot of fun. I did get a lot of things done that I wanted to get done, especially editing wise. But those were more personal milestones as far as what I wanted to know and be able to do versus anything specific with the show. Though I am pretty proud of the transitions. And we'll get it up here on YouTube ASAP. I'll just slide it into all my spare time. But yeah, other than that, good break. Good to be back. Really looking forward to speaking with our next guest, who has been a busy, busy man himself, Mr. Martin Liedtke. Welcome back to the realm, and have no fear. It's always a pleasure. Flat thumbs, baby.
Yeah, thanks.
Flat
Thanks to invite. Double flat thumbs to infinity thrice. Forever. I'm back again, which is a long way. One of my longest. Guys, thanks for the invite. Good to see you all. I'm on Media's back. Yay.
Yay. Yeah. It's been fun. I enjoyed it. Been busy sampling my crop. It's always making sure that what I grow is
priority. Yeah. Standard.
Yeah.
So you should be doing.
Nurturing. Do that right now.
Laying in there with them, talking to them, fondly stroking them. And you get suntan, and also you don't suffer with SAD syndrome because you're getting a bit of light.
That's right.
You know, bit of Jamaica.
I hate it. Makes me mad.
Of her own accord. So thanks for the invite. I'm here. Yes. Hiya.
So
Shanka.
What you been up to?
Oh, I just watched The Next Level, like just before this show.
Oh, how was it? The new Hibbler Productions flick. How was it?
Well, he sent me the it's the private copy for
look at you, Mr. Preview.
In it, but it's like out on YouTube on the 5th of May. On the 5th of May on YouTube. It's on Vimto at the moment and whatever formats. But yeah, my honest opinion is I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I really enjoyed it. I was thinking at the end, oh, fucking hell, yeah, this is going to be like a lot of people asking some really serious questions. That's what I was thinking. Because he really calls them all out. Neil deGrasse is like, if he's what they know that they're going to be watching this shit. Yeah, definitely.
Somebody are going to have somebody
calling him out like a little whimper and shit. Like he's going to have to respond. When he said this shit's flat. It's like we're taking that like it's a flat earth admission of guilt. Fuck, are you coming out with telling them the truth? You can't, Alex von Bumgard, right? You didn't see no fucking curve. He's lying through his teeth. They all are, and so they can't have it both ways, can they?
They used to tell us it was the curve from the Concorde at 60,000 feet. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
We used to hear that all the time.
I remember Brian Cockler's
you can't see it at 120.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah. So they want to make the fucking minds up. Anyway, so there was a lot of points about that. Towards the end was about eclipses and for me, like that 2018 one, blew my head off because it's like, what the fuck just happened? So I mentioned that in there, and then they just focused on that a bit. Eclipses are always like Achilles' heels, really, flat earthers. I stay away from the sky myself. But it was brilliant. I thoroughly fucking enjoyed it. Bob's in it, Cammy. Brief moment.
Is he? Well, no, we didn't get the copy of it, but I know that Bob ordered it and was watching it. I see him in the chat now, and so he's taking a break from it. I do know it's available today on a pay-per-view. I'm not quite sure what the pay-per-view is. Maybe he can drop it in there.
Like about 350 thing, something like that.
So maybe what is it, like $2.99 or $3.50 or whatever? You do that all the time to do a movie, and if I think to support a flat earther, I mean, I wouldn't have. It's a pleasure that they're putting out something that you can do that for. I'm really proud and impressed. Awesome. And now, like for my husband in it, even for a brief moment.
Yeah,
so,
it's at that 1 hour and 17 mark, I think. If you pause it, you can see his left knee in the lower right-hand corner. It's really awesome. It's cool stuff. Shout out, Bob. We love you.
The winner of the Nobel Peace Prize himself.
That's good shit.
So yeah, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. some really good points made, head scratching stuff, and for people who haven't really come across it, when like David Weiss smashes it on it, and he asks these people on a show, like, just basic heliocentric stuff, like what's the circumference of Earth, what's the speed of Earth around the sun, all of these things that they're laughing at us flat earthers, and he's like on this live feed, and they were like, we don't know, either of them. It's like, it's always the same. Like, you don't know shit about shit. You can't debate us. You don't even know your own model. So there's a bit of that in there. So, that was like an eye opener. It was like people watching. I was like, we don't really know what we're defending here. So it might prompt people to actually, look into these ridiculous things, these speeds, nuttiness that they say is happening. So yeah, for that token, I thought it was like, if they, there's going to be a fair few people see this, and they've put like slices of like Alex Jones in it with Eddie Bravo. So they're going to want to have a look in there, see what's going on, what's the score. They're calling us out, yeah. So yeah, a lot of people will see it, and I think it'll bring a lot more people. And it's stuck with the good core of Epi, which is like the creator as well. Didn't deviate from that in any way, which is great. So towards the end, it's just our thoughts on creation, the creator, and being the center of whatever this is, but it being all about us and what we do in this place. And I thought that was quite good. It was David with that old lady when she broke her heart. That's gonna tear a few hearts out watching that. Literally, like, not too late in life for a woman to have an epiphany moment, realize, holy fuck, they've been lying, and that release.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
You could see it in her face, that release of all of that, that confusion and lies, why it never made no sense. And then she's like, of course. You could just see it in her face. So people seeing that, it's going to be a beautiful moment for a lot of people. Sure, it'll get a lot of tears going. So yeah, fab film. Do good.
Nice.
Looking forward to
I'm
it.
excited
I can't wait
to
to
see
see
it. Yeah, I know that we have it here. Bob wrote in there that, again, right now it will be coming out on other venues a little bit later on. I think YouTube and that, for maybe the prices that he says it was $5 to rent and $7 to own. That's still less than a couple cups of coffee. And again, any way we can support what they're doing and getting the word out. So I think it's fabulous, putting heartwarming moments like that. I have not seen the movie, but I have seen Ruth. And how could you not love Ruth?
Oh, Ruth!
Yeah.
I know, she's such a babe. I know, God love her.
Oh,
That
But
is
I was
the
looking
way
to critique,
baby?
find out anything that they're going to pull us about, and oh man, it's just the stuff on the perspective, everything was just right. I think there's a lot of thought put into it. So yeah,
Very awesome.
Very
Very exciting. Did you like it, Bob? Have you gotten through it? He's in the chat. I don't know if he was going between maybe the movie and this. I don't know how far through it he got. And I couldn't come inside from the garden and do it. I'm sorry. I might watch it when it's dark out. But I do have to do the dishes and other things. First, the outside is so fabulous that it's so bad. But I'm glad that we're doing great things in the community. And Martin, you've been doing great things in the community. You've been like gangbusters.
Trying my best to do great things in the community. But it's all trial and error, and it's been like literally an uphill battle. But because I'm stubborn, and I just like, if I my heart set on things happening, I'm going to make them happen. So the tour was like all over Britain, starting like literally, it was like 3 weeks on the road or something, all British cities, looking at antiquity. So I came home from the tour relatively early because basically I just felt ill. I had nervous exhaustion. I was just like going to drop.
Oh, I bet. It was like every other day you were at a place.
No. It was every single day, because the day before we had to walk the route, and a lot of these cities are like massive hills and stuff, and then take the tour the day after. And these were long 12-hour whatever days, and then there's just like all the other stuff to go along with like that sort of living on the road. So like I found that like I'm not a 16-year-old rock star that can fucking hit the road thinking I'm like the Rolling Stones or something in 1964, because I don't work like that at my age. I'm finding it. I need a little bit of comfort. So yeah, so I left that a little bit early, came home, and then it was time to get the shit together for the conference that was in Birmingham. And just studied that was. We had a live feed with beautiful Roxanne came and helped me out, Roxanne Glenn. We had a live feed with her in 07, who's Rich, and also Didactic Campbell, live in Australia as well. And Jen, I don't know, Jen, who's
Truth Seeker
69, and she was literally fantastic. I had like my mate from school, right, who I grew up with, in my comments in YouTube saying, "Oh, the Alabama Jen, she's so cool." I was like, "Yeah, she is so cool." The stuff that she came up with, Zach, was giving me goose pimples. You know, it was more just the spiritual aspect. You know, she hit upon some really fine points. Like, it was like, yeah, buzzing. So Jen came along, give her a bit of magic. And then we had, like, Alex made us a special song, Conspiracy Music Guru. Made us a special song, so that was a treat, just for us. Dave Murphy was there, did some stuff on the Nephilim, which was fucking brilliant. Loved his presentation. Yeah, man. It was really, really good. He always kills it. Mac Devlin did Musical Truth, which I could listen to for like 20 hours. So we saw like, you know, the old rock stars dying and you know, his ideas and them all their Illuminati connections and, you know, Mamas and Papas and fucking, you know, T-Rex and the Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd. It's going on
the
about
Tavistock Institute.
Yeah, the Tavistock. Yeah, Sid Barrett. What happened to him? Like LSD. What happened to Sid Barrett? And all that. A few of them. I downloaded, like, I was looking through images earlier, like, and one for Lady Di came up for the newspaper that day. And I just sat there recalling that day. I'm thinking I was like proper upset. Reading is like, fucking hell, how could this be? Like, died dead. Like, I tell you, I got over it in about 15 minutes. So I will be honest. Sat there waiting, and this was like critical thinking way back in the day. I'm like, right, well, let's wait for the evidence to arrive. Then this shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah.
So as the week went by, I was like, no fucking way. There's no evidence that any of this shit's
bullshit.
happening. But anyway, it gives you related Rockstar. And it was incredible when he came down in plane crashes. There was Patsy Cline, there was Leonard Skinner, there was Buddy Holly. There was just all of these really prominent fucking stars.
Why so many of them ride buses now?
Yeah, crashes. A lot of them on this road in California as well, where James Dean bit the bullet. There's a lot of places as well where similar places as well and similar flight routes I'm finding with these people.
The one guy from the Allman Brothers died on a motorcycle, right? Back in the day. Well, another guy in the band, 10 years to the day, died in the same, like within a quarter mile on the same stretch of road in a motorcycle accident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Mark talked a few about them. A few like people like, you know, synchronicities with deaths at the same days and all that. But that just screams Tavistock Institute. You ever seen them photos where they show you like a celebrity in the modern day and like the old version in the old days, like the Keanu Reeves back in the day, you know, or Jay-Z.
Yeah, from like 1915.
Yeah, it's them. So they're just saying they're rolling these people out over and over again. They're the same people, maybe lifetime after lifetime, except that dwarf guy, the Lannister, out of Lord of the Rings, that's shitting all over the television at the moment. It's like you wouldn't want to be brought back as that same dwarf. It's like, Nora's in chat. I seen Nora. Don't be jealous. I seen Nora last week. Fantastic, Nora.
Oh, I miss Nora.
I know. Don't worry, we're all going to get together and have a proper thing, right? That was the UK AM, okay? That was an excuse for the UK peeps to get together. We did a lot of networking. Seen a lot of the gang in the old days, the old flat earthers. A lot of us met up. They're like in the same venue as the 2018 Flat Earthers convention, big one, in the same hotel that I hired. And fucking hell, that was like the world media was all over it like a rash. That was when Flat Earth was like, I guess in like 2017, it mentions it in a movie about 2017. You put Flat Earth into the search bar, all that's going to come up is fucking Simon Pan and nothing about Flat Earth at all. It's just all like bullshit. And I started before then though. You put in Flat Earth, and it would be like million hit fucking videos by I don't know, Flat Water and stuff like that would come up.
See how lucky we are to have seen all this stuff early.
It was the most exciting days ever. Santos Bonacci commented on how exciting we were. We was always every day getting up early. It's like
every day something new was like, yeah, wow, look at what and then they just censored Flat Earth so bad. I search still every day. I type in Flat Earth videos within the last 24 hours. And most of it's yoga, and there's just nonsense.
Okay.
I'm getting nothing. There's a few new ones popping up here and there, but it's still a pain in the ass to search through the stuff.
If
it's
I
not
survived
like
for
it
7
used
years,
to be.
7 years on YouTube, Flat Earth British, how the fuck is I survived?
No doubt.
I know, British institution though now, you know, national treasure. They don't like me, but you know what I mean.
But the people love you.
Yeah, so it's not all people. I got a terrible habit of making fucking people cry, apparently. So that's got to stop. I upset people. I don't know. I just can't keep. I don't know. I just can't seem to live up to everyone's expectations all of the time, and I keep putting my life on the back fucking burner, trying to push the fucking boat out, making like other people's fucking fantasies really fucking try and become a reality, make myself like ill in the process, and whatever is required of me to make it all work for people. And I found in that what I need to do is I need to start learning this new word in my vocabulary. It's called no. I'm gonna have to practice that because I find it very difficult to say no.
It took me forever, Martin. It took me forever.
I know, because you're like me, Zach, and look at the results of the shit and the torture we have to endure in this place.
I'm getting better at it, but I used to never be able to say no.
It's been difficult, let me tell you. It's complicated all right life. How do you explain? So yeah, I'm on the flip side of that now. So I'm going back into the juice. I got a very, very juicy vlog tomorrow, which is going to be fucking really good. And I went live earlier talking about Nikola Tesla and some of his visions for the future that he had. And because he says he had a lot of these ideas, like the Tesla motor and stuff, out of a dream. But I'm more inclined to think because his father was like a Serbian Orthodox priest, that he had some idea of like the Four Angels model, because it's like basically he's going to be in these places where his father is. That is symbol is going to be up every fucking where, so he wouldn't have missed it, and probably the building he was in. So I was, working out whether or not he was actually a thing in the first place, because he's really limited. There's no video of him at all. He looks completely different from his really, really good-looking young self to this decrepit old skeleton later on, who dies of 85 of obscurity. So how does this genius that invents all of this fucking brilliant wizardry that's got stolen by the military, they've had free fucking energy all along anyway, so why haven't we got more evidence of this man existing? And I got a picture of his death mask. I could show you. It's just not the same guy because he looks like a skeleton. So they have a put. So it just screams that this is some sort of setup. We got, like I said, there should be some video evidence. He didn't die till 1943. He was super duper famous scientist.
Yeah, they had already made Somewhere Over the Rainbow. They said he was a recluse and he would only speak to like a handful of people.
Maybe that was
the last so many years of his life. But then they say there's interviews of him, So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I would love to hear an interview with him. I don't even know if he was an English speaker at all. I'm guessing so. I can sort of picture him in my mind speaking broken English. I'm not sure, but I think way back I heard I think I downloaded on the Internet Archive what was a recording of his voice. Was it him?
His quotes are eloquent as fuck.
Yeah. I think he was a vampire anyway. He looks a bit fucking vampiristic. He comes from that fucking Transylvania part of town. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Yeah, take a look at him. Fucking never one of their rollouts. Someone's what he did in a previous life.
Well, I know they say his, the guys before him, like Voltaire and Watts and all these guys, they read ancient Sanskrit.
Mhm.
And that's where they got the idea for a lot of this stuff was, this isn't new. It wasn't invented recently. They're just figuring out how to redo it again.
We'll plagiarize this shit because nobody's going to be able to read Sanskrit but us.
Okay, you want to invent this one? Okay, I'm going to invent this one over here. You can invent that one. And then, let's call up somebody else. Ampere. Go get Ampere on the whatever the line. I don't know. History is so bullshit, dude. How old is a telephone? You think, Martin?
Well, I could show you evidence of. Basically, I did a video about this, and I showed you evidence of, like, they had Skype. Literally, it was called Skype in the 1920s. You could have called and seen somebody on a television monitor in at least 1920. Okay, so then
the World Fairs you were covering.
Yes,
I remember that.
Absolutely. So I delved back and I found earlier, and then I found evidence to some of, I know it sounds crazy, but Napoleon's lenses, and they look like they might be some sort of projector or camera lensing, and camera obscura is a thing, and it was quite developed. They called it the magic camera, especially around that time. So I propose that, in my mind, it would have been nothing for, say, Queen Victoria to be watching like live footage or something on her screen of, say, the Battle of Waterloo or a later battle happening. I think they got all this technology. 40 years, 50 years ahead, Zach, of us. Imagine the iPhones, the billionaires and the elites got what they can do with their, they don't get what we get. They get super duper fucking years ahead shit.
Yeah.
Imagine what they can do. So it's no wonder this place has gone all so weird and everything with all of these like internet things that have been happening. And
in mythology, what they say, it was a scrying mirror, right?
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a black mirror. Yeah,
it's what we hold in our hands.
Narcissus.
I'm sure you've seen the footage over the years of like. The ladies walking out of the factory, black and white footage.
Yeah, sure, I got
that. Dated, and they got the cell phones going on, and then the other lady I think it's an old Charlie Chaplin movie. She's got fucking cell phone she's playing around with. I mean, it's obvious that oh no, it's a ear horn. No, it's not. You look at the footage. Shit like that. And, my first thought when I first saw these things years ago, previous to, flat earth and stuff, was like, well, how would they even have a way for those to work in that time? There were no cell towers back then. Ha, ha, ha. Little did I know, what all the antiquity would be discovered. But yeah, it's pretty nuts when you look back. And I do remember those Skype call things. I've got one of those ads you had. I saved it. So yeah, that's just nuts. Nuts.
Could share screen. No, can't share screen.
You can share screen.
You have power.
Give me 5, 6 seconds, something like
that.
Got
it, Josh. It's the man with the power. Give it.
Do it.
Do it again. Do it again with love. Oh, there you are. So, bones. Okay, so what I did discover is the 1920s. They had these things, which are wireless phones. So the score is you roam down the street, okay, you stick your battery terminal, maybe for grounding or maybe for a charge, on this fire hydrant, and then what you find is the ladies will use the umbrella, which also has a wire to it, as their wireless antenna.
Dude, holy shit.
Yeah, that's in the 1920s. So they had DIG, right, wireless mobile phone technology in 1920s puffy newsreels, so you can just hook up in the street and talk to other people.
Wait, dude, before you go further, you've triggered something.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the Bionic Man show, the $6 Million Man show?
Yeah, of course, Steve Austin. Okay.
You remember the doll that came out in the 70s for the guys?
Yeah, I
to
had
play
to. You
with?
switched it and
Okay.
you lifted the car engine.
Right. Okay, do you remember the pack of arms you could get that were separate? They weren't the ones that came with them.
I had my
The
mother go
one,
and get me another box as well. Yeah,
right.
I had wicked arms. I had.
You remember the radio one, the radio arm, and you
Me
had
and
to
you
put
gotta
the
talk more once.
clips, dude. You had to put them on you had to ground the clips.
It's a little
for it to
plastic
work.
bit
What
you
the
slot
fuck?
in as well.
Hell
It's a
yeah.
bastard. It's
Oh
a
my
bastard to get in.
God, dude. Sure they were giving us the Antiquitech and our Steve Austin toys. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just got all excited.
No, man, I'm really excited. That was like a blessed moment, man. Yeah, man, my Steve Austin doll, man, was wicked. Yeah, and you look through the back of his head and you've got a bionic eye as well.
Well, hell yeah. And you went.
Didn't do the sound. It would have been better. But yeah,
You had to do it yourself.
I was a little younger when he was still on TV. I was like 3, I think, and I call him the $6 man.
Listen, he smashed it. Yeah, he had 5
Right,
Forsyth
there you go.
Majors as his wife, a Charlie's Angel as his wife, and he was worth $6 million, and he was fucking bionic in his spare time. Okay, but later on, then, okay, he becomes a stuntman. Always better, then. Do you remember that? What was
That
it?
was my favorite. The Fall
Fucking
Guy.
brilliant. Fall Guy was fucking
A. Yeah. I had a thing for blondes for a long time.
no shit. Yeah, I'm more of a Daisy Duke man myself. You know,
Yeah. Christian Catholic.
I'm right there
wasn't
with you,
even
sir. I had that Daisy Duke thing going.
Daisy Duke, man. Yeah, man. Fucking lucky, isn't he? It's like, is that a cousin? It's like, fucking hell. So yeah, 1940s. You can see like you get a lot of images where people.
Yeah, that's
see,
it. That's from that movie I'm talking about where they're
Yeah.
coming out of work and she's obviously talking on a fucking phone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Classical
nothing else that can
statues.
do.
Taking selfies. Everyone's in on it. No wonder the whole place has gone to shit. You know, really. Is the world round? Now, I asked Google years ago, right? Years ago, is the Earth flat or round? And it said, and I come back and it was like, oh no, the Earth is flat. And I was like, yes. And I was like, fucking hell, crank up live, do that again. And when I did it the second time, she fucking started telling lies again.
Yeah.
First time, though, she told me the truth.
See, that's when Google just lets it slip every once in a while. This is why I always use Alexa.
Alexa.
Yep.
I got Siri.
Well, see, we don't have either.
Yeah.
But somebody's listening, and
I like
really
Alexa,
the permissions are just permissions for them to answer you because they're always listening. So you have to grant them permission for it to work, but it's just permission for them to respond. So I use it all the time, just waiting for that bitch to slip because I know it one of these days. Just like Google told you the Earth is flat, fucking Alexa's going to slip, and I know she's going to answer back, even though she doesn't have permission to
questions talk. Alexa as well. Remember Crow? Crow years ago.
Oh yeah,
the rapper Crow.
Oh yeah,
yeah, man. He was at Brodsky years ago.
I saw somebody try to explain this away with like, oh well, that shirt isn't like a T-shirt you would see today with the word on it. That's not a big, it's just a design. Blah blah blah. But I'm like, dude, what in the fuck are you going on about?
I don't know. The internet is a strange world, isn't it? So
wow.
Look at her then. She got what's this then? Like she's not even dressed
DSL
like
cameras and shit.
Yeah, it looks like she got a nice little video camera there.
She looks slightly shopped.
That thing is tiny too.
It looks slightly photoshopped. She's got a little bit of clarity to her that the rest of them don't have. She looks a little bit photoshopped into that picture.
So there's our forefathers before us, which like these are like 40-year-old men, but they're little. It's like they're just supposed to grow up. They have such a hard life, working and going to school.
Wow.
So,
oh, holy shit.
Yeah. I don't even want to know what's going on with this craziness. But there's no limit to what people will do for vanity and shit. I've noticed in this place.
It's maybe a cure for depression. It's training their brain to see themselves smile. So they have to see themselves smile. And you have to, when you can't fake it, then you tape one of these things on. And look at yourself in the mirror and train your brain into seeing
naturally smile.
Yeah,
that's the best you could do. So you got to paint it on. I think it's like sort of flattening out her lips. It's like a Botox of the days to give her like juicy lips instead of injecting it with dead shit or whatever they do. I don't know what Botox is. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Funerals furnished through our happy days back in the past was all about buckets and shovels and death. So, Phones. Okay, yeah. So she had a phone in Middle Ages, as you can see. She's checking out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And that's in the Renaissance period.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. James John the Baptist. He was on. He's photobombing. He's photobombed.
Right. He's going like hashtag heads are gonna
yeah.
roll. No.
Yeah, he's on Snapchat, Twitter, and everything. John the Baptist. He had a head. He's got a head. I don't know. I think she sewed it back on. Right. Everybody out there who doesn't know, who's not old enough, this is the internet in the old days. And this is what people used to look in the old days before.
Right, that thing she's leaning on is the information highway of the day. Everything
Oh my
was
God,
in
the
it.
directory.
The directory,
Yeah,
hell's yeah, brother.
yeah. And if you ever want like toilet paper, that stuff's just adequate thickness. Okay, don't use the yellow paper.
Super thin.
And she doesn't look like a sucker, like a dum-dum, like a lollipop.
No, she's got a pen in her hand.
Like
she's
a great big head and this thin rail stick little body, just balanced around, just wobbling around, barely able to stand up. Like a dum-dum.
No, she doesn't shuffle along this one. This one's a thinker. This one, I would dare to say, reads books.
And isn't it crazy how we can all see that and read that from her, and yet you can look at other people walking around on the street outside right now and instantly know the vacuousness of their brain and how there's really nothing going on there.
Yeah,
and
she's in thought there. She's working shit out, like fucking breaking shit down quick because she's on the phone. Yeah, she's a thinker. She's a winner.
Fuck yeah, she's trying to write down directions.
It's not even a high def picture, it's just an old 70s photograph that's barely, it's nuts.
So that's what we're focusing on, aerostat and the ability to collect electrostatic charge from the air. There was Jen. Oh, F.E. Martin. Nixon talking about the Apollo 11 on the landing, on the landline. When they can talk to people, can't even get a fucking connection now.
Oh my God.
With the picture taken from the moon in the background.
He's such a knob. They're such knobs, all of them. I'm just not playing anymore. Anyway, let me show you what I was posting earlier, which is really, really good. You will like, trust. Okay, I was posting oddities, but I was posting Tesla battles. I was talking about free energy, and Tesla, there he is there, and his best buddy, who is Samuel Langhorne Clement, who's got like proper fanboy thing for Nikola Tesla, who's there in the background, and he's like, well, this shit's like lighting up without me like plugging anything in. Wow. So how come it's happening then? And why have we got it now? Well, there he is doing his monologues. Like, you don't want to meet many people, like you said. They're laughing at it. I wonder if she genuinely found it funny, or she's just being polite. Because I can't imagine, this genius guy being very humorous. I might be wrong.
Probably a nervous laugh. Guy looks creepy as fuck.
Right, check out his fucking death mask then, because it ain't that, right? Do you know what happens? I'm going to talk about something to do with this tomorrow, okay? That guy, it's old people. They're basically skeletons with fucking skin on. I had a guy so skinny once with his eyes bulging out and he jumped up my skin, but he was like 6 foot odd or something. I was like, and I know he was all right. Got talking. I was like, fuck me, you look like a skeleton. You scared the shit out of me. He was all right. He was together. He was just like never had any heat on him. So there he is. He's genius. So what I think he's done is I think he's probably just like seen this stuff happening. There's like the last elements of Tartarian tech were taken out of the Balkans region, I think. And he had some sort of idea how this stuff was working. So, like you say, they have some people come into when he's living in that Tartarian hotel in New York. He looks fucked. So I don't know, this electricity didn't do any good. There he is, all in millions of volts passing through him, no harm happening to him whatsoever. Faraday gauge all around him. I wonder what he's reading. He's probably pretending to read. I'm just saying.
He's probably practicing his monologues, and that's what happened between then and the monologues.
Yeah, so like the hotel, yeah, because it's boring fucking monologues. That was so funny. So anyway, he must have sold out at some stage because he was working with Westinghouse Electric manufacturing company, Tesla Polyphase Systems. So he must have earned a packet off of that. No, I understand they said they burnt his flat down in New York and nicked all his papers and shit. But he got a museum full of his shit in Serbia and another one somewhere else. So he must have had a lot of stuff. So there it was. He seen that in a dream, apparently. 4 angels, magnetic repulsion and attraction, and changing the charge around a coil, and he invented the FE, flat Earth model, the 4 angels. This is basically down to the atom and up to the structure of the place where we live in. And he knew he had that much vision. There you are. And he said he's seen them in a vision, appeared to him in a Budapest city park. And he quickly drew down the mental images in the sand with a stick. So I get that. If you're going to get a download from the universe, you want to write that shit down quick.
Yeah, right away.
Right away. So for the Tesla motor, he said he got it out, a vision. So if it is true, very interesting. And 369 Goose Drank Wine. Mortgage tobacco. The universe out of Tesla's, Brian. Did he think of that? Was it Rodin? Might have, or some other geniuses. But anyway, they got onto that early. And yeah. And so if it's attributed to Tesla now, again, it's like they attributed a lot of stuff to him, considering he's supposed to be the flip side of all of this, good boy, bad boy, electric man agenda with Edison. So there he is, Count Vlad. I've never sucked any blood, you fucking liar. Look at his hair. He's got literally the world's best duck's ass there. So there he is, getting on a bit, maybe in his 50s.
Probably a dapper Dan, man.
Of course he's a dapper Dan, man. What kind of do you think he is? Yeah? Fucking hell.
Probably the kind that's going to run
I
off.
literally go through swamps for that. Do you know that's my all-time favourite film? Probably.
Dude, I love that movie.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I can't believe they thought he fucking turned into a frog, though. But them sirens is bitches, man. They just, you could do anything. Like, turned him in anyway. What a brilliant film. That music. Soggy Bottom Boys. I listened to that, cheer myself up regularly.
Fucking A, I had that album, brother. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
I love that. Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
we
they're
get
doing that.
sidetracked.
So, Martin, did you
Mhm.
have Dapper Dan dolls in England? Was that a thing there, or
No, Brill Cream.
you had Brill Cream? But here we had little golf dolls called Dapper Dan and Dressy Bessies, and they had like a whole bunch of different vests or whatever that you could change their costume by what layer you buttoned them into. Yeah,
No,
it was
we had
Dapper
Action
Dan.
Man and Cindy. We had, and we didn't have any Bill Cream
Action
for Action Man because he had a
Man.
skinhead.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
Them toy collector, yeah, those are awesome.
Cindy's like she's like a Barbie, a bit bigger, a bit more brutal looking.
And when you're only using a
Terrible
dab
trouble.
to begin with, it's hard to get a little dab for a doll. A doll dab is even harder, but it'll still do you.
So maybe they're
It
doing
will.
that. Maybe there's no fuel at all in planes because they're all running on electric, wirelessly transmitted from, say, the observation thingy or whatever. So that was the idea in the 1930s anyway. It was an electrical wizard foresees the day where airplanes are operated by radio transmitted power supplied from the ground station. So why aren't they doing that? So in my head, they got free energy, they've had it all along. They've been using it. So coal bullshit, saying that oil is depleting, when I think it's nothing of the sort. I think it's like self-replicating. So this is out of Gulliver's Travels, and you know how he goes to a land where there's all like Lilliput and they're all little, or maybe we're in Lilliput, or the other way around. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is in there, and they are maglev cities, like the one spotted in China a few years ago. So why wouldn't they have maglev, like Vimana technology, magnetic,
Well, don't they talk about even like in ancient Chinese cultures, the Shangri-La, the floating city?
Floating city, exactly. And why?
Right.
And they include. There's a lot of clues in that.
And they always are showing us that in how many different movies. The Avengers,
Sky Captain.
That, right. I can't remember the name of it. Something I just watched. Oh, the Kryptonians, all their floating city worlds is all based. Oh, Kryptonian. Okay, I got something for you. Hold on, Martin. Go ahead. I gotta find it.
The yellow sun.
This broke my brain.
Illuminating from airships as well. Paris, they were doing.
Wow.
Using moonlight lights, which is basically halogen. They had them on big sticks, like in Detroit and that, but they were also using like balloons to do it. And why wouldn't they have got a charge off the buildings and then, wirelessly send it up to these vehicles that are flying around above us? Because they got free energy, so it could have been something like that going around above us. And even
wow,
cable.
that's
Why wouldn't
epic.
Why wouldn't they have cable cars?
Yeah,
I've got pictures of
epic.
double-decker cable cars that hang
Yeah,
out
now
on
that
the
one I've
sides
seen,
of
and that one I
mountains.
can see working. This just seems like my God, how could it? But yeah, that's crazy.
Why not? So a lot of these things, you think of pylons, they could be just like repurposed old world. They could have been cables across for cable cars, and I don't think that's an impossibility. I think that's doable. They got the SkyTrain, that's a reality.
It probably already was a reality, and they just salvaged the very last one and left it there in France. So this was the original. Freaking Eiffel Tower.
This is a reality. That's the electric SkyTrain. I've got video of that.
I've seen that one
In
moving.
Germany.
Right.
Yeah, so this is like a little bit later, 1930s or something. But yeah, they had electric trains like turn of the century in the sky. Just if you can think that this is just further back stuff, and this is a sort of idea of how the world recharging off of these.
As it goes by, the little nodules,
pick up a little bit more of a charge. And the Tesla towers transmitting a wireless feed out for future battles, a bit like AWAC does today. For these Tartarian airship type affairs, which are probably
that's how they're keeping all these balloon satellites up there for so long and getting the energy to control their elevation and this and that. That's been driving me mad. Where's the power come from? Because they have those long cables that they do the electrostatic tethering. If they want it to go up, they'll do it with bring down the charge, make it more negative, and it goes up. And if you want it to come down, you give it the positive charge and it comes down. And but I was like, where are they coming up with that power? But yeah, this makes sense. It could just be beamed to them.
Mm-hmm. Why not? They got it. And there's his death mask. It doesn't look like that. No offense, but it looks like Skeletor or He-Man.
Yeah.
With all of this fatness going on. And there he is there. They cut his moustache off for his death, is he? Oh, no, he hasn't got a moustache. Oh, there you are. But it looks, the bone structure don't look the same. It just, unless he got really healthy before he died. There he is, dies 85 alone. This Yugoslavian inventor. It just doesn't seem, he got all that money from Westinghouse. I'm sure they looked after him. What happened to all that fucking money? Just doesn't ring true. And there's none of evidence. I would love some video evidence of this man talking. And this guy, Clement, he's just one of he's like Walt Whitman, isn't he? He's one of Tavistock's fucking one of theirs. What this then? 1890s, remote control submarine. I think it's wireless, picks up the signal from this sort of
what?
Yeah, so this is late 1800s, and they got sort of remote control then. So how far back did they have remote control, and how the permeations are like what? So remote control flight, balloons, remote control.
Yeah, because they said that Tesla came up with this in the 1820s, something like that, 1815. I know it was one of his later ones, but he did it on just a little boat. It wasn't even a submarine; it was just a little toy boat. And he showed by flipping a switch, he could turn the motor on and off, and everybody's like, "Oh, who cares?" He's like, you don't see the application here.
There's Nora there.
But
look.
1890.
Oh, no, sorry. So yeah, I'll distribute. Let me show you up there, where there's a photograph.
There she is.
Guy. So balloon tech, as if you're into your free energy stuff, I've been posting, some of this evidence of American cities, giving you a list of them, all the ones destroyed, which are a lot. It's mind-blowing how many. But, some of this evidence of Zeppelins using what looks like energy weapons and evaporating cities, Germany's long arm feared by all of England. So it makes sense that if you was going to get this much energy, a fasces would need to be big. And that makes sense that it would fit in something that looks like a fasces from the outside. So it makes sense. And it makes sense of this sort of level of devastation that cows hitting candles over does not fucking wash. Not in a city of this sort of style and architecture. And they blame a cow of the rural world. It's just not really been true. So yeah, London as well had these destructive zeppelins and evidence there as well. First World War, 1914, setting a roof on fire, not using incendiaries but using a beam. So it's this energy weapons is what I think they're using. Here again, Calais, 1915, setting buildings alight. Tartarian buildings here also, 1915. Great Yarmouth in England, First World War. I know that building. I can dock there. So enough evidence that they had some sort of, I guess, particle beam weapon that can start a fire. A lot of heat in there. Same sort of thing they've been using all along, if you ask me.
Didn't Tesla supposedly have a death ray?
Yeah, sure. This is what I was mentioned earlier tonight on my vlog. Yeah. He was supposed to have had a death ray. Yeah. Excuse me. Let me just show you this. I don't know if you've seen this site. This is a mad one I posted earlier. Concerning. Oh, look at all the cool stuff I got about.
Wow.
Excuse me. This Terabis Scriptum, and it's a site, right? If you look into it and Google it, right, they don't like some of these sites are unidentified. They don't know who built this culture. No. Listen to this. They don't know who built this culture. They don't know who built this civilization. They don't know what any of this language means.
Dude, what the heck?
Right?
That's fucking looks like some kind of Cthulhu shit.
I'm thinking it hints portal technology all over it. It's a fallen angel coming out of the portal.
Come on.
I'll show you now. I shit you not. Take a look at this, right? So you see that, right? Not only this, look how spooky and weird this gets, right? So they go to the effort. This is in Syria.
Those are the guards.
This is not a movie. Come on, this is fucking breaking my brain.
That's a train fucking thing there, right? So they built a track to get the mud out. Yeah, it's that important, right? And see this? It's a giant polished stone. It could be an onyx. It could be a meteor, but it's like the one at Kaaba. So there's something going on with that, and it looks like all these waves coming out. Seems to be like water related, but it looks like a door, and it looks like a portal, and it looks like this thing here, this entity sitting on like a throne thing, has come out of it. And look at this fella here, white as a ghost, and he's looking straight at us. It's fucking
straight at it.
Straight at us. So there's something going on with the rest of this dig as well. They got a few people into this Telebish, right? Now,
and look at the quality of that photograph. Too,
yeah. It's what a brilliant shot as well. This guy as well, looking straight at it.
Oh,
it's mind blowing, isn't it? And this language I can't find anywhere. It's not like Coptic or Slavic or any, even the early Tartarian samples we got. It's just nothing like any of them. So this isn't obviously in Syria. You can see that by the snow. But in the Second World War, they went to another site, and apparently this exists. The same sort of thing in the middle, although this one's swirling around with other stones in it. The Rimac went there in the Second World War. It's like akin with this brilliant sort of thinking. But look at this thing that's bursted out again, right? Same position, same sort of throne, same writing, same civilization, but a world away. This one, if you look into it, Google it, or you drag and drop it, it says unidentified location. But it does say Rimac 1942. And look at this, right? It's just like a demon. It is a demon. And this thing in the background, we found COVID. There it is. All along, it's been
one of the seven.
That's the COVID stick they beat you with. The COVID club.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, isn't it in Enoch? It talks about seven stars, seven that didn't follow their path, so God banished them to the black abyss or something like that.
Yeah, that's part of they wouldn't do their path. Go close in on that little part at the top, please.
This bit on this one.
Yeah, the little
mind blowing thing, right? Let me tell you first,
oh
right? Do you know who this gentleman is?
One of the Kennedys.
No, man. This is
he's not
Lawrence. This is going to be Lawrence of Arabia.
I knew he was somebody famous.
This is in, but this is the thing about it. This is in, right? So before the First World War, this is in 1913. A year before the First World War. So he's not famous yet as like the savior of the Arab world, and he becomes one of them. But a year before, he's at this site, and I can't help thinking that, we give so much to the Arab world. It had to be something to do with these finds. And look at this, guys. So this one's got 100% a fallen angel. Wouldn't you agree? demon. Waves above us, stars above them. Yeah, waves. You agree? And it was like come crashing through a fence. And why is he there? Why is?
See, I don't see fence, man. There was this movie from like the 50s, and it was this rock the kid found in his backyard or something. It was actually a meteorite, and he got it wet and started growing these huge, giant black crystals that took over the world. These huge black crystals that would just keep growing and growing, and that's what they look like to me. Anyway, sorry,
Look at
it's just fucking breaking.
It's insane, isn't it? Have you ever seen anything like that?
No.
No.
What do
only-
you bet
only
there's?
fucking
Do you think they
science fiction
moved it?
movies.
I
Or
think
do
it
you
screams
think
a
that they would-
portal technology going
It's
on,
got to
guys.
be some
It's
kind
a
of
fucking
portal. Look
door,
at
and
it.
it's similar to some of these examples we get.
And they
like,
show it
you
to
know,
us all the fucking time. So
all the
you know
time.
it
And what?
is,
And something's
dude.
come out that looks like
There was
fucking,
that key,
you know,
that
fallen
key
angel.
family movie show, whatever it is. I just rewatched not too long ago, and they have the portal, and it opens up, and here comes the demon tech, and it fucks everybody up, and it's always a portal. It's always a door.
I bet they built a building around that.
Well,
I
look at that
bet
big
it's
lump
not
of
out in the
dirt.
middle of nowhere anymore. I bet they, like now, today, wherever that thing is. Because, I mean, a portal, I wouldn't move a portal, would you? I'm sure it's location.
Oh, I think the key is
sensitive.
the location, nodal
Yeah.
points.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
time and
So
space.
you wouldn't move it. That'd be dumb. So, yeah, you'd just build something around it to hide it from everybody else.
What if it is like that nodal point and it just represented? It's one single point in time. It's like a 3-dimensional picture that's been taken into layers, and each layer is set in different locations. And when they're all connected, then you can sort of pass through each one as that nodal point, that one moment in time and whatever.
Yeah.
But something is blocking it. Something is saying, well, we can't use these anymore, or something else is coming through.
I'm like mesmerized, and I'm just in the background. I'm forgetting I'm on the show, trying to read it.
I know, just watching
right
the
to
show,
left,
having
left
a
to
blast.
right, to the
I've
things
done
it feels like it should be familiar. This is what I mean when reality is so much cooler than science fiction. And when they take us down the science fiction pathway, again with the high, bang, 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 high adrenaline, shoot 'em up that you get with the way we do sci-fi. I'm sorry, this is just way cooler. Look at this. Don't you want to? Again, this is real. This isn't. This is the bomb.
Some of this
Keep
does
going,
look a little
Martin.
sharp.
Like,
And
the
again,
site
forgetting it.
exists.
It's so good. I forget that I'm on the show right now.
Check that out. And it did mention the qualities of that. I think they did say it was a specific stone. So, I'm thinking it's something like the one in the Kaaba, because that seems to be significant. And there's something about that, the way they walk around there and they create the natural torus field seems to be important to it as well. But that's part of humans, isn't it? That's why we ring dance. That's why we dance around in a circle. All cultures do it, because we create a natural toroid, don't we? That screams like a door, or like it's just, like you say, how many films and how many books, guys, in Terminator, just maybe something did happen, that they closed these things down, maybe something like that, because some great evil came in here or something, which is still here.
Maybe it's to keep us from getting through.
Right.
Nice one. Nice
Oh,
one.
those skulls reminded me, before I forget, go show the
There.
Catacombs, sir, real quick.
It's
Well,
only
wait,
what?
let me show
This?
you this thing real quick before you go into the Catacombs. Because
No, I'm not sharing them. I'm not sharing them.
okay, no, that's fine. So in this movie, The Man of Steel, which, whatever, silly movies, but we know truth in movies, news is fake. Okay, so the whole thing is Krypton's about to explode. Elle knows this. Superman's father knows this. He's been warning the people of the planet or whatever. We are dealing with science fiction, but he knows if something's fixing to go down and wipe them out. So he wants to create or take this baby, which is the first natural birthed child in forever, because they grow their babies in these weird places because they, I guess, fucked up their shit. Don't know the whole history, but I do know that in this movie, he's trying to take all of the knowledge base of Krypton, all of their history, all of their everything, and put it into this child he's about to send to Earth. And where is this knowledge stored?
The crystal?
No, sir. Hold on. Let me go back to it. I've lost it. There it is. It's stored in a fucking skull. The codex skull.
No fucking
Is
way.
suspended in this big weird machine. I forgot to open
I
a
don't
new
remember
tab.
that.
I didn't either till I watched it just 2 days ago, and it was like, "Are you kidding me?" That's where it is. It's in this
Well, thank you
codex
for that.
skull.
Thank you for that.
So,
'Cause
dude,
I'm talking about skeletons a little bit tomorrow.
right? Well, I knew you had hit around them and the battery aspect, but just this idea of it storing like
Something else.
cellular knowledge,
Blow your mind.
storing
Blow your mind when you
like
see it.
history,
You're like,
storing genetic, that's been carried through, and
yeah. All the crystal skulls.
There it is. It's Superman of all fucking places.
Wow,
Yeah, I just
there's
couldn't
so
believe
many
it.
clues.
And
in
I couldn't
that
wait
film.
to tell you about it, and now you're here. So there you go. Go dig. Go dig deep.
Glad you did that. I have to write that down a minute. I'll show you. Thank you all. Wow. That makes so much sense. I was thinking about, like, I found old books on anatomy and stuff, and there's like a lot of architecture shows like partly formed human skeletoids where like they haven't really got all their flesh yet, like in Hellraiser type of affair. And then if you've seen the film with Jack Sparrow, what's it called? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Which one?
Yeah, well, anyway, the crew of the Black Pearl. They all live in Davy Jones's locker, but they are partly skeleton and partly, haven't got their flesh yet.
Right.
And if you see like a lot of old people, they just like literally look like fucking skeletons with eyeballs and skin over them. So maybe there was a state when everyone may have looked in such. Maybe people didn't even need food or anything, and this was their form. Because the architecture is so freaky. A lot of, like I said, a lot of this Phoenician architecture is like these half-formed skeletons. If that makes any sense. I'll show examples anyway tomorrow. And this fascination with keeping reliquary skeletons. But I've been reading Antiquities of America, which is a fantastic book all week, and it's about all of the old world stuff they found in America in the 1800s, and they attribute all of the Bible happenings to taking place there, the real location of Ararat. One thing they do state in there, even as for America as well, is they brought the dead in to put them under chapels in crypts sometime in the 1800s. It was like, well, that's interesting. So where were they then, before then? Because they're not out in the yards, because there's no graveyards. We've established that. So they're bringing them in from where, and then they're putting them in crypts. So I don't think it's for spiritual purposes or protection in the house of God. I think there's something more going on with these dead, if you like, been brought in. And where this, you will always find them in the nave as well, or under the dome, or near the altar, where you altar, under the spire, where you become inspired. And they sort of are located in the same places, these crypts, and you wouldn't even believe how many catacombs there are, guys. It's like nearly every city has them. And some of them are ridiculous figures. Some of like obscure churches in Italy have got like 7,500 fucking skeletons below its little chapel roof. It's like,
Jeez.
No, I'm not joking. I'll show you tomorrow examples. It's just craziness. And
just reminded me of something else there, Martin, that I watched. I spend a lot of my time doing a lot of research. I don't have time. Well, I do have time, but I just don't do it a lot. But there was a pope who I didn't know existed, who brought the preceding pope out of the grave, put his dead body up on the throne there, and had a trial for the bad things that this previous pope had done. And at that point, popes were like not these holy, great world leaders that they are now. They were like nefarious and like, it's nuts, this history of these popes. He tried him. He was condemned for whatever these crimes of his were, and they cut off 3 of his fingers, the dead person. Now, you know where those wound up. They're in the fucking altar somewhere because they always use the bone, the finger bone.
clickety
But
clack,
dude,
yeah.
I just had no clue this stuff went on.
Yeah, what do you think
And
comes
how
off them
nefarious
chimneys?
the popes were.
They fucking
Right,
burnt
the
your
ash,
bones.
the bones are burning, right.
Wow.
I can't remember his name. I'll find the link and send it to you so you can check it out.
Well, there was a few Pope Piuses, I know that for definite. So yeah, I have been looking into catacombs and other stuff and possibilities for the way this place worked in the past.
Hey, are you guys hearing anything mentioned about the Pope, Martin, over there? Because I haven't heard the Pope mentioning. I mean, I don't really pay attention to too much stuff, but I mean, it was just Easter. You know,
I went to Rome at Easter to see the Pope once, but it was like too many people, and I got too stoned before, and I thought I don't want to go and see him anyway. So he sounds rubbish, and I've seen him. I had seen him, and he looked at me, and he gave me all that thing going on, which was nice. When he came to my city, so I thought I've already seen him. You know, I'm not a big fan, so I won't bother. So as I'm going like that way, everyone in the world is coming that way. You know, all crying and all Eastered up from Pope John Boy's big speech. You know, reminiscing for his days in the Hitler Youth and stuff.
Wow.
He was in the Hitler Youth.
It's just wild, isn't it?
It's all right. Well, no, that against him. Half of NASA are fucking Nazis anyway, and the government. They're all old fucking Nazis. Well, ones are left, or their descendants. Have you seen? They showed in that film tonight, Next Level, that clip of Justin Trudeau talking about when he went to the North Pole. You ever seen that clip?
Yes.
Mind blowing. Yeah. What the fuck is he on about? That's Bob, I think, is in the house.
Oh. Yeah, talking about.
He did knock at the door, indeed. Welcome.
You keep on knocking.
I'll drop that link for, it's like Secrets of the Vatican is part of this video I dropped in our chat on the call there, Martin. Other stuff in there you may want to dig into, but that's where I saw that about the evil Pope that got tried and defingered, dead.
Do you know, I went to an old battle site and they were supposed to have buried Richard the Lionheart there, and they chopped off his feet to get him in the coffin. I was like, oh right, so that's what they practiced, is when they defeated an enemy, they literally did that. They got their commander and they defeated him. Defeat, and they chopped their feet off. So that's where defeated came from.
Wow, I never even thought of. Yeah, it's all in the words right in front of us.
Sure is. Well, what about real eyes? Real eyes, real eyes, real lies.
Lies. Aren't real lies.
It's like, well. All right, save that. Thanks. Voltage. Save that. That looks good, actually.
Hi, honey. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Bobo.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me okay?
We sound good.
Yeah. Sorry about joining twice. I hit the wrong damn button after I got in. I wasn't expecting it to connect. But I know. What a noobster. So, Martin, you did a fantastic job in the new movie, the Flat movie.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, I was happy with the clips that they chose where, I talk properly. But yeah, it worked out. I was quite happy. I'm happy with it all. That girl was really good as well. The one on the beach.
Who is she anyway? I'd never seen her before.
I didn't even know she was British, and I do sort of recognise her, and I don't know where from. I might have seen her on a meet or something along the way, but yeah, I wasn't aware of her, and I thought she was really good. Everything she had to say was on the money. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite line of hers was, everything the government turns to shit, everything the government touches turns to shit. So why do we allow them to touch anything? It's like, amen to that, sister.
Listen,
wow.
She got a lot of attention. She'll get the mother's perspective and all that, because she was talking from a mother's perspective about, the mess with her health. And the way she put it was like, yeah, why is everyone so unhealthy if the government got hold of the health service? Surely that shouldn't be the case. She posed some real cool questions, I thought. There's a lot of cool questions right the way through, I thought, anyway. that you know a newbie would definitely have to look into. You know, it's just like, really, is that the case? And you know, the Joshua Newicki, I'd never seen that film before of that guy, talking about it's a mirage, coming out and defending himself against flat earthers. I've never seen that clip before. I was like, what?
Yeah, that came out shortly around the time, because remember, right after that broadcast was made, he actually went and he consulted an atmospheric physicist, right, and talking about the atmosphere and whether or not it could act like a lens and all that stuff. And the guy laid it out, goes, "Oh yeah, it can absolutely act like a lens, the whole 9 yards." And I thought that was interesting that they laid all that out. But yeah, it is. Wow. He got some really amazing clips on here that I had never seen before either.
Amazing. It was amazing fucking bit of film. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, I just watched it before the show, and at the end, I thought, yeah, that's going to do some damage to them. And I like the way, Weissy obviously smashed it right the way through. Some of his points were really good, but at the end, and he's like, like, just not spoiler alert, like, it's not.
Yeah, he had some great stuff. One of the things he mentioned on an interview the other day, that it never really occurred to me. He's sitting there, trying to show these guys how nonsensical the 23.5 degree tilt would be to the seasons, right? And it's like, if that was true, then we would get that type of effect with the Earth just orbiting away from us, right? Just pulling away from us. And I'd never looked at it from that perspective before, but he's dead right. I mean, what's the difference? It's just going on one axis instead of the other, right? So that was really amazing. And yeah, it was really a lot better than the first one, a lot better. And I have some footage I know that Sean wants to get for me, and I assume you wanted me to dig up that eclipse footage that we had.
It was for sure. And the thing is I was there, right? I was on a hangout with Rich, Thrive and Survive, if you can remember that back in the day. And it was basically on there. But the one that sticks in my mind is when you were mind blown, and I'm watching you're all in a field somewhere, and it's like, that was the best footage I'd ever seen. That stuck in my mind. And I was watching it, Sean wanted me to try and find it, basically, and I'm looking through all my resources, and all I got is like a crummy clip through a screen where it's happening secondhand. No good. Yeah.
Okay.
But, that was in 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, we have it. I've got to dig it up, so I'll make sure I'll send that over to him. Also, he also wanted the footage of Chris Van Maitre, Cammie, Zach, and I going up to Pikes Peak and actually video, the video of the experiment that we did up there. So I'm going to try and get him that. But I mean, as far as I made a very short cameo, as I heard you guys talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Where they just cut to that one scene basically that was in Behind the Curve. And, they said, what they should have said, if they would have been honest at the very least, was that when this experiment was redone, just a matter of a week or two later, long before the release date, when we redid the experiment, and we did it at the 14,125 foot elevation of Pikes Peak, and then somewhere down around 5,000 feet, almost a 10,000 foot variance. Excuse me. There was a huge variance in the rotation, right? It's like that right there completely blows away the entire idea that it was Earth's rotation, but they didn't want to go there. They would rather make me the scapegoat and say, yeah, even one of the flat earthers, and all I was doing was being honest. It's like, yeah, we detected it. We don't know what the hell it is, at least not at the time. And then, of course, it occurred to me later. And that's why we actually designed an experiment to test it. But so he couldn't say a whole lot more than that. And that's cool. And at some point, maybe, I'll get more of an opportunity in one of the feature length films to explain, in detail what happened, why that happened. I mean, people still believe I was the one that did the original experiment, and I wasn't. So, people, they've got a long ways to come before they are even remotely close to the truth. So, but yeah, I really thought that the movie was just flipping outstanding, and you did a great job. Martin, I got to tell you, when I met you 7 years ago, I mean, you're a great guy. I've always liked you, but you have so much come into your own. You know, you have. You're a different person today, Martin. You really are.
I like to think we all grew together anyway, because there's a lot of people that changed along the way.
I agree.
No.
I agree, but I've especially noticed it in you. And I mean, you are a very confident person now. You are so much more comfortable with yourself now than you were then. And I mean, it's really been a pleasure to see the evolution in you as a person. And you're killing it. You're sitting there killing it, you know, with your shows. You're just absolutely, you know, doing fabulous research. And it's awesome. So thank you. Thank you for doing what you do, man.
Your handler is awesome. You're blossoming
for a long time, since the very first show I was there, man, in your chat.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's been a crazy 7 years, hasn't it?
You're a whole nother person, Martin.
Brilliant.
A whole nother person.
Sorry, Josh.
I said you're a whole nother person. It's like somebody came in, black bagged you, mind controlled you, and replaced you with somebody confident and positive. So, like I said, hats off to your handler, man.
I guess it all the time. It was different back then.
You're blossoming as a
buying people
asset
and stuff. My, you know, I didn't have time to redirect my energy and give it. I was giving it all away and caring for people and doing. That was my life for like 10 years, guys. Really. So after all that was over with, then I had time to redirect that energy to what I wanted to do, which is this research, flat Earth.
You look happy, but it looks like that tour may have taken a bit of a toll on you. A little exhausted, a little tired, but man, you look happy. You look really at peace.
I've done a lot this year. I've done quite a bit this year already, and it's only April.
And it's only
yeah, you have.
My belt, I've toured Britain, and a lot of other stuff as well. So
yeah. Hey, Martin, do you know? I mean, you guys didn't actually hire a videographer to put out a feed for your conference, did you?
No.
Okay. Do you know of anybody else besides Dave Murphy who released their presentation?
Yeah, one lady, but she's done it all in increment clips. It's like 6 minutes, 5 minutes. There's like 30 of them, and I was just take me forever to splice all that together. I did actually think that I had two, so I thought I'd nailed it. One guy had offered if he turned up free that he would just cover it, so I said yeah, and he didn't show, and I just had a backup, which is my friend, and she didn't do it either. So it was like just. You know, they just fell through basically. But yeah, I spent like fucking 650 quid on the fucking tech guy just for them screens, and all of that fucking audio stuff and all of that. It was just like, you know, I had to set it up with him and all that, but I had to nail like a live feed on a Skype over 3 time zones, live in front of a crowd in a conference in on Easter Saturday. I thought,
yeah. That was one of the biggest.
Easy.
Yeah, no kidding. That was one of the biggest nightmares I think that we've had in every single.
Do you know what I had conference. Back to in my mind though? Was when I was thinking about it up on that fucking stage. I swear to God, Bob, I was thinking about when they put that alarm on. Right the way through your presentation, it was fire alarm, some sort of an alarm in the building. How rude was that they did that?
Oh God, the Canada thing through the whole damn conference they kept doing that. That was unbelievable. And in my presentations, they kept getting this ridiculous feedbacks, and it wasn't just. I mean, it was in like virtually every single conference. You know, I don't know what it is about me, but I kept getting this ridiculous feedback. Rude. Yeah, and you know, I do know that one of the biggest problems that we had technically, you know, Robbie had in both the Canada conference and the United States conferences was the live feed tech. I mean, our audio levels were cracked. And Karen B had the same issues with her Flattoberfest, right? I mean, the audio levels never mesh. They're awful. You know, they sound like you're talking out of a box half the time.
I know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just amazing that is such a difficult thing to get right. I don't understand that, but
we nailed it. I nailed it with the you know, we had Otto Campbell, Autodidactic, and then later on Roxanne had a show, the Wide Awake show with Rich. But I noticed as soon as she turned on her, basically she got StreamYard up to do some sharing because Philip Dracine was dropping in to present, and it just all went to shit. There was stuff that I haven't even seen happen on my computer before. So, you know, you can just overload these things so easy and everything just... and then everyone had to wait like 3/4 of an hour then before we could get that show on the go. So everyone had to go on a break. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it wasn't easy.
it's not as bad as you think, Martin. I know these things happen, but
Mm.
that 45 minutes, I bet nobody was sitting around pissed off. I bet everybody's like, well, let's just start talking again. And I bet a lot of great conversations happened in that 45
Well, that was
minutes.
the whole idea, isn't it? I'd mentioned that. It's like for networking. It's for people to meet people. There was a lot of people there I've met half a dozen times. A lot of the it was great to see all the old crew, you know, Flat Earth crew, you know, Nora and Roxanne turns up. She was a saint. She just turns up and just like sorts everything out with like without a whim. It's just like da 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 da. So she was fantastic, sort of set just to turn up like that. I didn't. I should have hired more staff. Is what I should have done, Bob, because I found when I did actually arrive there, the first thing I was doing was cleaning vomit at the start of the day, and that wasn't very good.
Oh, jeez.
Not my own. I thought, I hope this isn't going to be like some sort of you know, omen of the day. But like I said, just sorting out like the speakers and making everyone, you know, making sure everyone was happy. And what I find difficult though, Bob, is when I got to presenting and everything is. You've got to try and meet everybody, and you know, if you can't give some people enough time, this borderline going to get upset. You know, it's just like, I wanted more time. I wanted to tell you this, and you know, I wanted to share this with you. It's like, yeah, I know, but you know, I'm fucking running a convention, so that's an issue as well. You got to just like try and be. You don't want to leave anyone out because like I said, it can cause upset. So try and do everything is
Yeah, it's really difficult, you know, and that's one of the biggest things that I mean, I really love the flat earthers and our fan base and everybody that's out there in the community in general. But you know, it doesn't matter whether it was the United States conference or the Canadian conference or the Flytoberfest. I mean, I would be walking around on the floor, you know, purposely for the idea of interacting with people and talking to people and stuff. But you know, then it gets to a point really quick where you can't walk 2 feet and somebody else stops you, and then there will be a line behind them, right?
Yeah,
Everybody waiting, you're just going, oh shit, I can't even walk across the room, you know. And it's like, and then you kind of have to, you find yourself kind of going and taking the back way around and stuff. And again, it's not to diss any of the fans or anything like that, but it's like, wow, you know, I've got to, you know, get my own stuff done here too, you know. But yeah, that's one thing that I really don't like about, you know, the limelight, so to speak. I mean, I've never been that type of a person anyway, but that's one of my least favorite aspects of it, you know. I mean, I appreciate the attention, and I really appreciate, you know, that people like what I do and you know, tune in and listen to Globebusters and all the stuff that we do. But man, you know, I don't know how anybody
have an
could be
off day.
super famous. Oh my God, how these people can be mega famous and want more? I'll never, ever, ever understand that, man. It's like they're nuts.
No, it was really enjoyable actually. I met hundreds of people in the last few months, and it's been quite exciting. You know, I talked to two ladies at the convention. They learned about flat Earth, like one of them 2 years ago, and one of them like literally since Christmas. And she was like literally at that stage we were in 2015, super duper excited about it all, and you know, just wondering how she didn't see before. So. I think it's another wave because they come in phases. These flat Earth awakenings. I've noticed.
Yeah,
that.
I think this year is going to be a huge one, Martin.
I definitely think so. They had a
Butter
clip
and
of that
potatoes.
Carnegie. Yeah, it's going to happen. My God, it's Jazz Sinclair in chat. Is that?
Yes, Jazz Sinclair had a question for you. I put in our chat as well. I wanted to make sure you saw it.
So did Two Hats. I had it put up there and totally forgot to read it off here. He says, question the moons waxing and waning from side to side, now top to bottom? Question mark.
Oh. Tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, that's
like, don't ask me. That's my weak point right there.
Well, we had a question, and it flipped.
Wait, what was it again now? I'm sorry.
Too difficult.
It says, How many chucks would a woodchuck chuck? No. The
How
moon.
much does the
Question.
dude
I
drop
bet. I'll
do?
see if anyone's got the answer for this. I bet Walt's got the answer. He's genius.
Moons
Right.
waxing and waning from side to side.
Go
Now,
on.
top to bottom.
I'll play. I'll jump in on this one.
Yes, please.
First of all, the moon and the way it's waxing and waning and the way you perceive it is not only where you are, but where you're viewing it in the sky. So there's some changing over, like the way it appears at meridian compared to the way it appears on the horizon. You'll see different angles. The other thing is if you look at the sun and moon and the way that they appear to be playing, and it's a little bit complicated for you, Jazz, because people that are familiar with what I believe they're projected in. So I see what we see as the visual projection of it. But I believe there's physical objects causing
Yeah, but he's just talking about
being
the perspective
projected.
part of it.
So the perspective part of it and doing it, if you have them playing up and down with each other and the phases are caused by a difference in altitude, which makes perfect sense, you're going to, again, from your different perspectives and that, and where they are at different places in the circuits, see some different visuals like that. That's what would happen in reality. So I would say that there's nothing really changing other than you're looking at it more and paying attention to what's happening in reality. Would be my
Yeah,
opinion.
this
Again,
happens every night with the moon. This is nothing new. It's not like it was doing. You saw the crescent and it was to the side yesterday, and then tonight it's over the top. Tonight it was over the side too, but it rotates. That crescent rotates as the moon goes by. The big, we call it the soccer ball, is what Savage has named it, because it looks like a soccer player. And there's a like a crater. I'll find the name of it. If you're in the north, it'll be on the right hand side of the moon at the 90-degree mark when the moon is passing your what is it? Your zenith. When the moon is the highest point in the sky, directly south of you. It'll be the same for everybody, everywhere on Earth. I did a video on it, Jazz. It was one of my last videos, showing how the moon, and they even show you this in Stellarium, I think. But yeah, the moon, it just appears to rotate. The moon's actually facing the same direction at all times. It's like there's one spot, like a needle on the moon, dragging it around in a circle. And we see it rotate due to perspective here on the ground, because we have to turn our heads to see it. So we're seeing it at different angles. If that makes any sense. It'll make more sense if you go check out that video.
right,
Yeah.
and see what's going on with you saying that too. It's funny. There must be something in the air, because I'm playing the exact same questions with Sylvia Halpert in Skype chat that I'm doing. And again, you have to, at your meridian or your apex, tint the sky down around you too. And again, pull everything in perspective that way. It's a very, very personal experience, but Zach is right. If you take where the sky is, like at your meridian or your apex, and wherever you are, everybody taking it at that point, you're going to have the same crescent there. But again, your crescent and where it's located is changing depending on where you're seeing it in the sky compared to where you are.
Yeah, if you have time, Jazz, look at it tomorrow early. As soon as the moon rises, then look at it at the mid, and look at it at set. And you'll see that it's going to do, if you're in the south, it'll rotate clockwise, or is it I forget. No, the north is clockwise. And the south, I believe, is counterclockwise.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what model you're studying or what paradigm you're looking at it under, the moon is it's undoubtedly the most anomalous object in the sky.
Would drive you insane. That's why
It
there's
absolutely will.
lunatics.
Including in the Helio model. They've said it 100 times. It's for all intent and purposes, the moon shouldn't exist.
Well,
Period.
it makes you wonder,
Even
right?
in their
Walt,
model.
have you ever heard the ancient lore and the ancient legends? At one point in our history, supposedly it didn't exist, and then it was just kind of towed into orbit one day.
I've got a great paper here somewhere saved. I'll send out here somewhere in a minute that talks about that very thing.
Yeah, they say it brought great
colonies and
destruction
cultures.
when it came.
Yep.
The land was upheaved and huge geysers came out of the ground and all kinds of crazy stuff, supposedly. There's even a name for the people that lived before this happened. Yeah, crazy stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it really is. So, this world, and now it looks like our history seems to be changing every couple hundred of years. First it was tens of thousands or, millions and tens of thousands and thousands. And now it's like, for crying out loud, we can't even go back to 1800s without seeing, stuff that shouldn't, just flat out shouldn't exist. And this, Martin
Cell
has done.
phones. Yeah, all the stuff Martin's been showing.
Wireless.
Yeah, wireless. That one clip that Iwaranon showed, those two ladies kind of cruising up to what looked something like a fire hydrant back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And they clipped this, and
Whitechapel, I think.
I looked at that and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's, it's like, I don't know if that's true or if that was a prank or what, but
no,
wow.
I saw a Pathé newsreel, and they're clips, they're photographs, screenshots of a newsreel. You can watch the whole video. I posted on my channel about 3 years ago. Something like that.
Did you? Oh, do you remember what it's called? I'd love to see that.
No, but I got copyrighted for the Pathé newsreel, though.
Oh, great.
Yeah. My channel's on a strike now, 3 months, 90 days. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We just got our monetization killed, so I sympathize with you. Of course, not like we're making a fortune.
That's the only thing. Nothing else. I can go live on there, Bob, and everything else. But the only thing is no monetization for 3 months. So they know what they're doing. Trying to squeeze everyone out of YouTube, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Not that many flat Earth channels of the old fraternity left on YouTube, really. Not anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I was going through my favorites that I've amassed over the last 7 years the other day. And, I've got something like 850 stored or something like that. And I was just blown away how many of the old channels are just, gone.
Yep.
Curiosity. Remember, what was it? I used to go on
Curious in Colorado. Yeah, that's our Curiosity.
Curious Life.
Curious Life. Yeah, sorry.
And he put up a new video lately that's fabulous. Absolutely,
he does fabulous videos. Yeah, they're all brilliant.
We've met him in person. He just put up a video now, like in the last few days, and he's moved into a new property again. And he's doing the off-grid life. But you should see he made a giant like zodiac thing where he's got all the signs in a giant circle on his
property.
On his property.
In
It's
the backyard.
large. It's oversized, and he puts out rocks on where the sun and the moon rise or at a certain time, and it's showing how everything is working through the zodiac and the whole bit. But he's got working with different rocks and markers on where everything is in the sky. It's a sky clock. He made a sky clock.
Oh, cool.
And it's so good. He's such a great person.
Yeah,
his work is out of this world. Rendra AZ. Who remembers?
Rendra AZ. Yep, I do.
His work was out of this world, and he's gone. Of course, Paul Chieft, who at the very beginning, his magical work. Do you remember Paul Chieft and the work he was putting out that people are now just starting to get to the level that he was at right at the beginning? I don't know what happened to him.
Oh, he got basically drummed out. People were saying he was a psyop plant because Paul Chieft is like Paul Chieft. It's like, really? That's really reaching for it, man. But who knows?
Have you got Ken Wheeler coming on or something?
Well,
Monday, yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, let's talk about that. And I was going to talk about this on Globebusters. The last I heard, Ken, had agreed to do the interview, but when David sent him his stationary, his standard questionnaire about, do you believe the Earth is flat or anything like that, he refused to answer the question. And he told David that it was a stupid question. And so I asked David, and I haven't gotten an answer back from David yet. I said, David, I go, I do not want to ambush Ken Wheeler. I go, if he does not understand that he's coming on with flat earthers, that we believe in flat earth, and that, because what I want to do is I want to talk to him about, not only what he works with, but the way that I've incorporated it into our model. Well, obviously, if we're going to be coming up against somebody that's going to be basically adversarial, it's going to ruin everything. And not only that, it could really screw up future relations about that. So at my, the way I'm thinking right now is if we can get him to agree to come on under those terms and understand where we're coming from, then I'd love to have him on. But I will not ambush him. I won't do it. And I said, if you guys want to, that's up to you, but I won't do it. So we'll see what happens. Because he may not be a flat earther, but I do have a lot of respect for him. I don't think he's always right, but I think that he has such an incredibly unique way of looking at things that it really does fit in quite well with the flat earthers way of thinking.
Model. If you explained like the tourist, the way we explain the tourist fields in this place, and the Four Angels model or something like that to him, the way he thinks anyway, he'd surely have a look at it. It's just you just have to explain that this is the sort of this is where we're coming from. This is the electromagnetic structure, what we think of this place, and the penny would drop with him. It really would. I'm sure it would.
I think so too, but I think his biggest problem is that he has
ego.
He's got a lot of corporate sponsors. He does a lot of tech work for Apple. He does a lot of tech work for Nikon. And obviously,
look what happened to other people who came out.
Yeah, and he's already
maybe him not answering the question is his answer right there.
Yeah,
we all know it's flat. I'm not going to come out and say it, and I'm not going to say it's a ball because we all know that's bullshit. But I have to eat, and these people pay me money to talk about this stuff, and they're not going to pay me money to talk about that stuff anymore if I say the Earth is flat.
Yeah. So anyway, it's tentatively scheduled for Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. But like I said, we'll have to see what happens because and I believe me, I would love to have the man on. I really would, but I'm just not going to ambush him. It's not going to happen.
No, he wouldn't be appreciative. He knows where he's coming from. It's quite clear.
Maybe he understood it.
He doubts the globe.
Maybe it's a legitimate question. Maybe David just worded it wrong.
Well, maybe, but I mean, he's also made some comments.
It's just a stupid question.
Yeah, he's made some left-handed comments about he think flat Earth is kind of stupid anyway. But and that's great because honestly, well, that's fine. But my thing is you guys all know where I have taken his gravity model, his what he said about it, and how I've incorporated into a flat Earth structure that requires, of course, the Gaussian surfaces and the charged cathode and anode, and in between there you get your equipotential lines of force. We have everything. This is the way things actually are, and in engineering, this is these are actually what is required to create this is something that is just like a flat Earth model. And in fact, there's no doubt in my mind that we have solved the so-called gravity anomaly, right? What it actually is. And I really would, oh God, would I love to get his take on it. But, not if I'm going to be fighting him and he's going to, just be tweaking out the whole time.
Yeah, no, he would agree with you on that. He calls that mutual electrostatic acceleration. Same. I mean,
I got some cool images that explain this if you need them, Bob. Animations, technical animations, it shows the push and pull out of the torus fields. So it literally shows you the donut in action, and if you think of the inertia plane below our feet, where you can see it in this model, it's pretty. It gives him a visual idea of what you're trying to explain. I've got a few like that.
Right, and even in his own words, Martin, he has said he goes if when you look at the toroid, the hyperboloid and the toroidal field, and then you have the dielectric inertial plane. He goes, this is the only place that life could actually be sustained on. It's like, well, there you have it, Ken Wheel. Your own words. How does that work on a sphere?
Like mountains not flying off all over the place because they're in
Yeah. So, I mean, I really, if he's going to require a little bit of kid gloves, and, if we have to, wait for another day, I guess that's okay too. But that's where we're at with it, but I respect him enough that I'm not going to ambush him. So there you have it.
Well, I hope he turns up. Good luck with that. That'd be brilliant. I cited him in my first book. I had to because I mentioned some of his electromagnetic work. Because it's like out of him and who else did I? Searle. I mentioned Searle, the Searle machine. like really like the the Roman Colosseum, like exactly like the Roman Colosseum, was some sort of similar technology. So I included that in my book. So so that obviously cite him, shout him. So try to contact Wheeler and say like, well, I'm shouting you my new book, and I'm going to be giving you a bit of a cite. And actually ask, because I talked to him, but I didn't even get a response, which I didn't expect either.
Yeah. And what's interesting is he is one of the so-called instructors for Santos Bonacci, right? It's like, well, surely he knows Santos is a hardcore flat earther, So, I mean, I don't get him sometimes. And, people they can be really, really flaky sometimes.
For you.
Well, we're
Oh, yeah,
funny
and he's
about the
quite
globe, aren't we?
eccentric already.
Yeah. We think the globe's really ridiculous and stupid. He's the other side of that, isn't he? He thinks that we are, or whatever.
Well, he's too damn smart to believe in it, Martin. That's the problem.
I know, he can't believe like these cartoons, and they can't get high up enough to take a photograph, and a million other things, for why this is a level plane. It's just beyond me.
And he's ripped on NASA and the moon landings. He knows that's nonsense.
That's true. Somebody did suggest he went flat a year or two ago, or he mentioned flat Earth. I can remember. He did bring it up a couple of years ago. Can anyone remember that?
I remembered him saying something on a live stream not too long ago, just a couple months ago, about he thinks the Earth is like a pancake. And I was like, what? I didn't know if he was joking or what.
No, I've seen people in chat saying as well, like, Ken Wheeler mentioned flat Earth. It's like that.
Was this about 3 weeks ago?
I thought it was further back in time.
I don't know.
And it might be a good idea to have Karen B. He seems to like Karen B. So, maybe if we have him on, we'll bring her on the show too, just because he likes her.
That would be cool, yeah.
I like Karen B.
I know that she'd for sure be for it.
Smooth talking.
Well, anything I can do to, make him feel comfortable, because honestly, I know what he's afraid of. I mean, he's already, in his latest videos, he's really concerned about what's going on in the world. And the funny part about it is the whole time that I watched him, at least for the last 5 years, he's always talking about, oh, I don't get into conspiracies or anything like this. And then the last 2 years, he's like, well, this is kind of going on, and oh my God, what's happening here? And it's like, Ken, you are way too smart not to see what's happening here. And, you certainly are capable of seeing beyond even what's going on here and the charade that's going on and all this stuff. So, I mean, he has the intellect, but I think he's afraid because, he's saying already that he barely scrapes by, and he's got, his Apple work and all that stuff. If he loses that, then you start, when you start threatening somebody's, income and, whether or not they're going to have a roof over their head, that's going to be a problem. And I understand that, believe me. So, I have to be very mindful of that. And honestly, we have to be mindful of lots of people that are in that position and why they're afraid. It's like, we can't all be superheroes and say, oh, I'm not afraid, whatever. I mean, fear is very real. We have it. Most of us know that the universe will accommodate, but not everybody is there yet. And that's, something I think that maybe we need to get them there by example rather than, just trying to talk about it all the time. So I'm really trying to be compassionate towards him, but that's why, I said that to David. It's like, no, David, we're not gonna bring him on under any false pretenses, because basically he told him, he goes, we're really interested in your work, which is true. We absolutely are. But, we're applying it under a completely different paradigm than what he was intending it to be applied with. And whether it works or not, he's being put in a position where he is being shown as now the father of this thought, or the foremost expert on this type of model, right? Because let's face it, a lot of people know Ken Wheeler, and the guy is, he's eccentric, but he's a genius. He's absolutely a genius, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
So, yeah, but I bet it would be real interesting to get inside his head. I'd love to just go to wherever he is and say, let's have a pizza weekend, man. And I'll buy all the pizzas you want.
I can read your tattoos.
Right, exactly.
I'd love to do some gardening with him, share some of my knowledge about gardening, and be like, whatever you want to teach me, just you teach me. But here's how you do this and this and that and that. Yeah. Because he's talking about farming, and oh man, that's a whole new beast. And farming by yourself, oh my good, I've tried this.
You need a
Me and
horse.
another guy. Yeah, he's talking about getting a tractor and this and that, but even the tractor, then all kinds of crazy stuff comes with the tractor and hooking it up and this and that and all the different. No, there's so much better ways of doing. Yeah, that's.
Employ
I
Mexicans.
think he's confused between like gardening or even market gardening, good gardening and having a farm, which, like Zach will point out, a farm you have usually one crop, maybe two crops, and the big equipment to do huge, huge fields. But he's bought land and has gotten a tractor. I don't think understanding that that's probably not what.
No, I don't think he got a tractor yet.
I thought he was getting one. I thought he ordered and was all excited.
No, he was wanting to get a tractor. And yeah, it's like, man, that's that's a whole new beast. There's that costs a lot of money to have those things.
Yeah,
and if he's looking to, exactly. If you're looking to save money and be more efficient, then there's better ways to do it than farming. Farming's hard, and it costs a lot of money to start up. It really does. So yeah, I'd love to just break a little of my wisdom off on them. And there's all kinds of, YouTube University, man. I have at least my bachelor's degree. Just the stuff I've learned on gardening and farming alone, market gardening and stuff like that. Yeah, and he's got good land, it looks like there.
Yeah.
Good soil.
What's interesting about Ken Wheeler is I've never seen him in a position like if he's ever been in an interview with other people where he was querying them as the expert. In other words, where he is not in the spotlight, so to speak, right? Yeah. And that's another part of his psychology that I'd like to understand. How does he respond to somebody else being the authoritative, source of information on something other than him, or is it all about him all the time? I don't know, because like I said, he's got that very, very quirky personality. He's just, he's kind of geeky and kind of weird and all that stuff and just silly sometimes. And honestly, that's what I like about the guy.
Yeah, I love
really
his giggle when he comes walking in, when he's in a good mood. He'll give that giggle.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love it.
You may have married me for the same qualities since the tattoos, but yeah, me and
I like it.
A little bit nerdy, a little bit weird.
I love your shirt, Martin. That's great.
Highly unlikely.
It's highly unlikely.
That's what Ken needs, one of them.
Yep. So that would be interesting to see, how he interacts in that. So ideally, what I would like to do, perhaps maybe even tomorrow, if possible, I'd like to get him on privately and just discuss, if we can do this at all and where we can go safely and what he feels comfortable with talking about. And if, it's not going to be a fit for either one of us, then I think it's better that we let it go rather than, try to turn it into a public catastrophe.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Pre-shows. Train
wrecks
all the time.
Yeah.
Wednesday pre-shows.
Train wrecks are really good, buzz if you want a bunch of views quickly, but it doesn't pan out for the long-term relationship or the long-term goal of things. Just to catch, people being a mess. It's not my favorite at all. So yeah, I like the way that you're doing it, Bob. I like the way that you're thinking it through and that.
And cool. Israel Adams says in the chat, he says, have Dave on with Ken. Well, Israel, the plan was essentially is Dave set this up, and the plan was that that it was going to be me, Jaron, and David, addressing Ken, which again, that right there is another problem, 3-on-1 type of thing. I don't know if that's going to be provocative or not, but David's really good with, the diplomatic side of things. But again, there's so many other things that I just don't know about how he's going to react to how I'm interpreting his magnetic message, right? I don't know if he's going to say, "Who the frick do you think you are?" Right? And kind of go off that boat or what.
Wait a minute.
But
aren't you the guy that proved the rotation of the Earth?
Yeah, that's me. Weren't you the guy in the movie that proved?
I don't know. I think having Karen on would be a good breakup, and again, handling things with him more as thought experiments than in absolutes, and then trying to say, trapping him into saying I think it's flat, because that's what he's going to go, is avoid the trap. So you just don't go for the trap, and that's not natural with us that are like, we're used to the debates and trapping people into the we're right, but that's not how you gain the respect and go forward. People have got good information, and
exactly
you find that common ground.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is to get him into a hypothetical discussion and say, okay, Ken, let's just go under pretend land. I don't know, you don't believe in it, but let's just theorize for a bit here, right? I know he understands Gaussian plates. I know he understands capacitive charge and discharge and all these electrical engineering things. He gets that. We speak the same language, right? Now all I have to do is propose to him that this is exactly what we are seeing, measuring, experiencing here on this earth. And what if it is this exact model that he's essentially defined that is causing this all to happen, right? In other words, I'd like to get him to say, well, what is the probability of this being able to happen given these circumstances that we're in? Now, to me, you guys have all heard what I think about it. Obviously, it's perfect, right? We are in an enclosed system. We have a top, we have a bottom, we have charge potential, we have equipotential lines of force. We have everything that we could possibly need, evidentiary-wise, to prove that something's going on there. We also have evidence of the firmament, that is accepted, that is put out there by the mainstream, in that, sprites and elves discharging upwards and hitting something at 100 kilometers, telescopes firing laser beams from the observatories that are hitting something at 62 miles, right, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, there's enough circumstantial evidence that, this hypothetical model has got some teeth, right? And I'd really love to get him into a discussion, hypothetically, about that and see what he thinks about. And it would also cause him to think a lot more as well, especially if you can kind of fire those words back on him, where Ken Wheeler himself says, the only place that life could possibly take place is the dielectric inertial plane in this toroidal hyperboloid construct, right? And it's like, well, I couldn't agree more. We are so on the same page. So there you have it.
My fingers are crossed.
Well, I hope it goes down, man. I'm excited. I really am.
Same. I want to see that. That'd be a legendary moment in truth.
No doubt, dude. It'd be like, finally. Da, da, da.
I know.
Yep. Of course, the flip side is it could also be a complete freaking disaster in that,
yeah.
Coulds are not a real thing. They don't exist.
That's going to be gold. Irrespective.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we got.
You're not going to embarrass him anyway with stuff that he doesn't want to hear. You know some limits. You talk to enough, interviews and that.
Well, that wouldn't be the problem. I mean, the problem would be what the opposition would do with it, and I don't mean just the Ball Earth opposition.
To look after. I appreciate.
I mean, my model and my ideas are not popular at all with a certain group there in the UK. And they would love nothing better than to see that get shot down and burn in hell, right? And go down in flames.
Who cares?
Yeah, well, I know. But, I think about stuff like that. We all do. It's like, do I give them the ammo to do that?
Not me.
Yeah, I know you don't. But whatever, that's the least of my worries. But, I think about it.
Yeah, good. Look forward to that.
Bob, can you say hi to Jazz Sinclair? He's been hopping through and just is thrilled to see you. I know it's been a lot of years.
Yeah, Jazz, it has been a lot of years. I can't believe it. I haven't seen you in Gosh, at least a couple of years, I think.
See?
And I used to watch your channel all the time. I loved your little parking lot rants and, all the little profound things that you said. And it's really great to see you back in the community. You should do more videos.
Love Justin.
Yeah.
He's had
I had
tennis
gotten
elbows.
got a
mate.
little off track earlier. I think I had put a question he had asked early in the show in here, and I'm actually a bit intrigued by it. Earlier, Jazz had asked or said there are hundreds of pockets of foreign people in the USA dating back to the beginning. So, where is Little Britain? It's not here. So, who was the colony? We were lied to. Interesting question. Because you're right, it seems like everywhere you go, there's a little Italy, a little China, a little whatever, little pockets of these communities. But where do you go to get blood pudding and things like that? I don't know those places.
It seems like we're more like Little Rome,
Right? There you go.
Well, honey, you're in. Where are you? You are in Spartanburg.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow.
That's
And
Greek, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
District
Sparta.
of Columbia, the hill that they bought it on was called Rome. That was the name of the little whatever was there before.
And Washington,
It was
D.C.
Rome.
Look it up. Washington.
Yeah.
His first name was Rome. Before it was Washington, D.C. Which is not
Yeah,
America.
District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Yeah. Yeah, that whole swamp right there. It's called Rome. Crazy.
Not really. I think it was the first. I think most of history went down here that we read about.
Yeah. Well, it just gives you an example of how every single thing that they've ever done has been so meticulously planned out. It's like we're living in a script, that was written, God knows, centuries, thousands of years ago. I don't know.
But they want to be discovered, though. I've noticed, Bob, because they leave like stupid mistakes and like crumb trails, and a lot of people follow. And I think like these puzzles, and everybody guess on their different truth journey. I think that they've been left deliberately coded in by really clever people at the Tavistock.
It could be. It's either that, Martin, or like I've said a million times, it's like when you are truly seeking answers to any question, no matter what it is, if you have it truly in your heart and that you're going to pursue that with all your being, for whatever reason, the universe must comply and provide those. Now, I think the reason we're starting to see a lot of that is because there's a lot more people like us that are asking those types of questions. So is it because they're leaving us breadcrumbs, or is it because we are visualizing it, we're manifesting that into our reality?
Yeah. Somebody asked me a tricky question from the crowd at the convention, and I was like, and I just sort of clouded over, and it was like an important question, and it was this: is you keep regarding them as them, they. Who are they? I was like, who are them?
Right.
So I was like, there's 1,000, like in the film, they refer to the Rothschilds, or excuse me, Rockefellers, some sort of guilty party. Other people blame faiths. So who do you sort of like the controllers? Who are they? The ultimate controllers? I don't even think that they're of this world. I really don't.
I can tell you my answer.
I agree with that.
It's those shadow people that schizophrenics and meth heads see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
and alcoholics see.
I don't think
the
they're
voices.
the controllers.
The voices. Well, no, they're
the controllers.
Yeah, but they're of the same thing as the controllers, I think, or it's even more,
close by,
unnoticeable
close by.
to us. But I think they see us, and we can't see them, being a huge advantage, when it comes to control, and that little voice in your head every once in a while that tells you, hey, just drive off the road right here, and you're like, what? Where did that thought come from in my head? That's not you, that's them, they're fishing.
Yeah, man, agreed, 100%. But that
Could be. Well, there's a syndrome made that's named for that, and I forgot what it's called, but basically that there are some people that can see like these little small elf people. It's called something syndrome. Cammy knows what it is.
well, I got that then.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
asked my buddy who has macular degeneration about that not too long ago and he actually said he thought he had been losing his mind, that he had seen them off and on too.
yeah, people do see things like that. They
Yeah.
really do, and they either don't speak about it because they don't want people to think they're crazy, or whatever. But um, it's interesting because there have been some creatures that have manifested into other people's stories that I've dreamt about, right? Like these ones that are really dark and they have this really deep, dark, grumbly, growly voice that's coming from behind a door, and it's just really horrible type of thing, right? Really, really super dark, and you wake up and you're scared shitless, right? And you know, I realize that we're all connected, but other people are having much more interactive experiences with these things, whatever they are. And the nearest I can reckon them to be is what people have described as demons, right? So is that happening because my vibrational level is coming down to that, or is that because it's necessary for me to understand what's going on? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, when I have those dreams about those creatures, I don't like it. It scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, my first dream I remember is of the devil, and he finds me. I'm at my grandmother's house, and I didn't see him at first walking up the drive, but I saw his little prints, the little hooves. And then everybody went and hid. Even my grandma jumped into like somewhere and hid. And I went and hid under these covers in this little thing my grandma had in the corner that held a bunch of blankets. And he walked right up to me, pulled the covers down, and I looked right into these big green eyes. And then I woke up.
Oh yeah. What's weird about that, Zach, is we were just talking about that the other day. I was asking Cammy, we were both talking about the new Star Treks, right? And Cammy and I are both pretty much of the agreement that Star Trek Picard is going down a really dark, kind of ridiculous, stupid path, and Star Trek Discovery is completely different, much more enlightened type of view. But one thing that I found really interesting about Star Trek Discovery is they have a character in there by the name of Saru, right? He's like an alien guy, but he's like really tall and lanky and stuff. But one physical characteristic about him is he has legs like a goat, in the back. He's got these big hoofs type of thing, but he's really, really likable. So I was asking Cammy, it's like, what do you think that means? What are they trying to do putting these type of creatures, which have, so many associations to what we would, call dark features or demonic type of features, and they're portraying them as very empathetic, loving type of creatures. What are they trying to do to us with that?
Oh, yeah. Doesn't the Bible say everybody will love him when the
Yeah.
Antichrist comes? He's going to be this great, wonderful thing.
Well, that was a different answer than what I gave Bob entirely, but I did see where you're going with that. Saru on the show is a Kelpian, and what I told Bob is like when we look at things recently in our literature, we've come to the terms of angels and demons as angels are these good guys and demons are the bad guys. But if you go through history, it hasn't been like that at all, ever, except for quite recently. You had good angels and you had bad angels, and you had good demons and bad demons. In other words, demons were just a different, they weren't the same physical life's physical tangible, but a different, again, more of a
Yeah, an angel was a physical being, correct? And
right,
demons don't possess bodies.
right. They're not
Or
corporeal.
they don't have a body. Yeah.
Or if they do, yeah, they don't have, or they can manifest it, but they don't have to have the body. You can manifest it sometimes, and you could have things about taking over the body or that. But overall, just like you have good people and bad people, the demons weren't, on the whole, the demons were not bad. You had, I think the movie The Compass shows that, the Golden Compass. And you'll notice that your demons that they were trying to were almost seeing the souls on it, like with the children and then the adults and the people. evil people had evil demons and good,
King
wonderful.
Solomon had who built the temple? Solomon, yeah. Didn't he have demons? A ring that controlled
Probably controlled the demons, yeah.
so
in the
many
Solomon.
demons?
The
He had
Goetia,
symbols. He had a bunch
The
of
symbols
that
to
he
control
used
them, yeah.
to
which
control
interestingly,
different-
the
But the
Goetia
demons
Became-
overall were a
became
different
your
level.
daily emojis.
the
Anyway,
first
that's another
4
story.
letters of Goetia, goat. Thought that was interesting.
You ever seen the film Odd Thomas?
Yes, sir. I love the books as well.
Man, he's got all them demons they can't see. They're
Yes,
like these
sir.
black
They
fucking
hang
things.
out
And they're flying
around
behind
there.
you. And the
Yeah.
more shit you do, the more you have on you. Yeah.
Dean Koontz is one of those writers, I think, who reveals a lot of truth through, I don't know where he gets it, downloads, whatever, but his stuff is always like that. It's always got a lot of truth to it.
Cracking
Next
film.
level stuff. So
And
And
that
then
would
there
be
was
your
the
love.
old. Oh, sorry, Cam. Go ahead.
I was going to say that would be like, again, your law of attraction or law of vibration too. What you attract is what you're putting out there. So what kind of vibration you attract, you can attract some bad demons, spirits. You drink alcohol, it's spirits, and you would attract probably bad demons. But you can also, again, on the light side, in a light mood, again, we put the all-encompassing demons are bad and the angels are good. That's something that seems to be applied very, very recently. Where again, in the past, just like you'd have good elves and bad elves, or again, did this bad people, good people, bad people. But the concept of demons themselves, they weren't an overall like automatically bad, and we've changed that. That
I've heard that Darwin supposedly had demons higher on the evolutionary scale than human beings, and then took it off on the final draft.
I heard that too. I think that was Crow, wasn't it? I think it might have been.
I think so. Yeah.
Shout out to David in chat. Good to see you there, brother.
absolutely.
Shout out to Liz, the Iron Maiden, in the chat. I saw
She
you in
made
the
it?
chat this morning. Yes, I see her there. I saw her there this morning. I was awake for some of the show, but you were in my I can't talk. I'm not very nice at this time in the morning zone.
We had oh, there he is.
Nachikita.
You say the name and he appears. What's up, man?
That's awesome. Shout out to Nachikita as well.
Right.
Way low. So, not for nothing, but it's like hotter than hell in my house. It's way too early in the year to cut the air on. It's like, just on principle alone, I don't want to do it. But fuck, it's hot in here.
Smoke more
You
weed
need to go
even
outside.
body temperature.
I'm a second.
72 and perfect here. If you want to come on over on the I'm reading it. It's lovely.
It's gorgeous out here. Oh my God, what a beautiful night!
I had a fire or a lightning bug land on my shoulder last night. It wasn't.
Oh, we have lightning bugs?
Nope, they weren't lighting up. But I had one come and land on me. I was like, "Hey, you look really familiar."
Oh, is that exciting? That's coming really soon, and that's one of my favorites here. Is we'll have lightning bugs in the backyard in a few weeks. I think they are the coolest. We don't have lightning bugs in Colorado.
Never seen them.
They are awesome. Magical. Mark, see another reason you have to come.
Or jazz and put them in.
We used to do that as children. Yeah,
we did too.
There used to be enough around when we were kids that you could get a jar full of them and light your room with it. True, but now they're so scarce. It's sad.
They are here, Walt, and yeah, they like the backyard and right by the river and that. So it's pure magical joy. And if you play music in my office, they will light up and dance to the music. I swear they will like synchronize. And if they like a song, they'll light up a lot more. I've replayed songs for it and have done things in between that. So I do like the testing with the fireflies, and they definitely they like the ladies singing in the very soprano range a lot. They'll definitely react to that more than like grunge or anything like that. So
what you know what you need to play, some silent singing.
I was playing them some Haley Westrinra, who's from Australia, wonderful soprano, and is known for being age 5 or 6, completely pitch perfect, and they were loving themselves some Haley. They were.
twisting. They were doing the twist.
And it's good to see you,
Within a
Bob.
little-
I snuck away for a couple of Oreos, and I come back, and it's turned into Globebusters. I'm like, fuck, all right. Here's a show I can listen to. Sweet.
I know it's weird, and I've never had you guys on Globebusters. Well, I've had Walt's never been on, but
1,000 years ago, I was on with y'all. I think it was a panel. Darren was there, and maybe Adam was there. It's been like early days.
Yeah, I know Adam.
But it's been a long time ago. Yes,
Adam's
sir.
been on. John's been
I need
on.
to come hang out with you guys for sure.
Naturally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Savage has been on. So yeah, we'll have to do that one of these times. That'll be a fun show. Yeah. I'll tell you though, it's hard, coming up with new material, and that's why I think that it's really cool that Martin has, he's remained a flat earther, but he has shifted this to such another very, very capturing subject, right? And
But the truth in plain sight, something that needs to be out there so badly. Look at it; it's all there, and we looked at it and didn't notice. Thank you, Martin. I'm sorry, Bob, for interrupting. Nolan.
Oh no, I totally agree. I mean, it's amazing because a lot of us tend to get stuck in our ways, right? And it's funny because when we stray off the subject of flat Earth, I get a bunch of complaints, from people.
I remember when I came on Globebusters, the shitstorm that happened.
Yeah, I was going to mention that very thing, Bobby. It's great that people have been able to let Martin explore and expound and accept it.
Oh yeah.
On some people's shoulders, that hasn't worked out so fucking well, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
man. It's I know you're some of the stuff you're interested in just from conversations with you, man. And it's sad that you can't really explore those things without feeling like you're locked into a box. Well, anytime you want to hang out over here and talk crazy shit, you're welcome, friend.
I know. And that
who made all them rules up though, Bob?
That's what I don't get. Who's fucking got the rule book? I don't see. I don't have a copy.
Well, the thing
that one I remember. Yeah, it was Vegan Warrior who did it. Sorry.
Yeah, vegan. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just don't understand that.
Sorry.
It was the show that Martin. Yeah, the show that
fucking
Martin.
Giants. How fucking big you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he fucking blew a gasket. When I had you and UAP on, and he's like, "What the hell is Globebusters doing covering this stupid Tartaria shit?" It's like, are you serious? It's like they're trying to derail the whole movement. I mean, he went on for weeks.
Like 8 hours a day ranting about it. And I was so embarrassed because we were so excited to have Martin on and so excited to go there. And then you have this person in the chat that was a wrench up till that point. Not after that day, but completely lost it because our show wasn't about what he thought it should be about. And
it was a brilliant show, I thought.
It was an awesome show, man.
It was like a kill show. And it's like, and you're having a fit because it's not what you want us to have the show about. Wow. And then you're going to complain for weeks and hours that the show wasn't about what you wanted it to be about when you have this wonderful platform and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, he had nothing to talk about but the fact that he didn't like what we were talking about.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I was a shill, trying to mislead the community. It's like, why is it that people think that I have so much power? I don't. It's like, come on. If you think that I have that much power, then you're the one giving it to me, and I don't want it. Yeah. I just want to talk about shit I'm interested in, and I love the subject of Tartaria and this alternate history. And it is so relevant to flat Earth, my God. And if people cannot see that, how blind are they? And they call themselves truth seekers? No. Sorry. I think that they are, these two subjects are absolutely meant to be together, without a doubt.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the reality that, again, they were hiding from us. And again, you ruined our in plain sight is beautiful. It's something that needs to be looked at. And again, the directions we go into and the name calling and that it gets silly at points. I'm glad that you just grew in. I remember at the time it felt like the world was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have them on and they're being so mean. And yet it was the most awesome epic show, Martin. And
I love
got
the
it going.
philosophy stuff we're doing now, Cammy. It blows my mind. Some of the ideas we have.
Mm-hmm.
You just get shivers when you say it, and then you're sitting and you're like, holy fuck, it's just some of the things we philosophize, in the think tank, I mean.
Right.
And then, some of the ideas is like just like mind blowing. Like, I'll give you an example. We don't really have free will. If we did have free will, we'd have control over the mechanisms of our bodies, which we don't have.
Exactly.
Do what the fuck they want. We die of cancers and everything. So we haven't got any free will as such, which would sort of point towards that we are not having the human experience, which would sort of point out that it is not us in this, which is weird philosophy. When it was first put to me, I was like, all right then, yeah, I sort of get that, and then I get the switch to we are not the human experience. What exactly are we? Like you said earlier, Bob, about giving them our energy, and I really do feel that they cannot exist without us. And when that lady said they, I was thinking, do you mean us? Is it just that, like you said, with the manifestation of these evil entities and that, it's just like a symbiosis of just bad people who were born fucking psychotic anyway, and will manifest these evil entities into reality.
Well, I think that's a foregone conclusion, Martin, because the elite know that. That's exactly why they try and steer our thoughts, right? With all their propaganda and all their crap, they write the narrative and guide us where they want our minds to be, understanding full well that when we, as the conglomerate mindset, are focused on something, it's going to manifest. And I mean, and if you are not aware of that, that's unfortunate, because it's one of the greatest truths that I think I have ever found since looking into this. It's amazing. It really is.
It shows you, and the lessons are learned. I'm finding that since the awakening's been moving on some, but the lessons are getting a bit harsher. But the other side of that is the grace side is much more beautiful in the experience. And but it's definitely not easy, the whole thing. It's like we haven't got a guidebook, have we? It's not like we got anything to refer to of how this whole awakening goes down. Think about what we're doing though, Bob. This is like millions, tens of millions, who even knows, hundreds of millions of people waking up to the this light, the whole thing. And we don't have to be like this, none of us. So that breaking points. Like David said in that movie. A couple of big stars. Get everyone the masses to look at these subjects. All of it really. It's just so many layers of lies, isn't there? The medical industry, all of it really. I think we're on the cusp of that. I really fucking feel that that's happening somewhere in the future. I really do feel that inside. And the people want it. They know they can't go on with this.
I agree. And the elite are aware that the old system is coming down, and they are trying desperately to create they're trying to steer us to a new destiny of their choosing. And one thing I've said since day one of when I started doing this, whenever the hell that was, is that it's going to be a race between their methodologies and how if they get away with what they're trying to pull on the public, and the public waking up and becoming aware of it. And boy, has it been neck and neck lately. And sometimes I think we're losing, and sometimes I think we gain a little bit of ground.
No, they shifted the paradigm. They never had Agenda 21 for start, so if we passed that, so they couldn't fulfill that. So, but there is a reset ongoing. They've had to do the entire structure, redo the entire structure of humanity, which all of us think, because it's true, because of the acceleration of the awakening to all of their bullshit and all of their lies. And the more they're doing it, the more people are realizing it. All of it. The movies, the globe programming, you name it, all of it. People are waking up to. And, that's to be really, really dense or in the system. Like you said, like we said in the movie, once you unplug, it's a whole new It's a whole new game, isn't it? When you're not part of it, you know, recognizing it is like 9/10 of the battle, I find. Especially
Indeed.
that voice, Zach, that tells you to pull over and that. I have the stupidest shit jump in my head, and I'm like, I can literally identify it now. It's like, well, is that me? That don't.
I've been doing it lately too.
That don't feel like that feels right, like for me. So was that really me? This thing in the psyche. So, we're antennas anyway. I think all the information they'd say it's like, in ether, whatever you want to call it. I think that it's in the liquid, in the water. I really do. All of the information. That's why if you lick that seed, it's not the DNA in the seed like they have you believe. It's transference of your information. That seed, that plant that will grow, will have aspects of you in that plant, and it will thrive because of that saliva. So the information, it's in the water rather than in DNA.
Yeah, I agree. I would have to agree with that. That the so-called Akashic record of everything, the water is the most likely place that it would be stored.
Well, definitely in water. There's no doubt about that. You can watch clouds like vanish into the sky and appear out of nowhere. So the water is always there, ever present. We just can't see it. And isn't it crazy though when you think they can have clouds floating above us that must weigh trillions of tons for the water that falls out of them, just like with gravity. It's like trillions of tons hanging there.
Yeah, it is truly amazing. And this is one of the things that we've been trying to answer this question, because like I said, I don't believe in the mainstream model of gravity any more than anybody else does. But one thing that is very clear to me is that there is definitely a downward bias. Something is determining up from down. And that's, and I think that something is something that's right in front of our faces, but we've been told in no uncertain terms, oh, that's impossible. That could never be, right? Or we could do such and such. It's kind of like, the stupid boats going over the curve argument. They have these stupid canned arguments for it, and it doesn't make any sense. And yet we don't know, as far as we are aware, we don't know of anything else that would even come close to so-called supernatural other than electricity and magnetism, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they are complete enigmas.
And why do they keep talking about gravity when it's supposed to be their piss poor weakest force anyway? The most, they don't focus upon the most prevalent forces.
Yeah, and the most dynamic force has ever been known to man, right? It's like it always knows exactly just what to do. Yeah,
it just makes perfect sense to me. The whole Taurus model fits absolutely perfectly. It explains every aspect of it, and it's also in all ancient theologies. Definitely the Veda talks about it. It shows you Mount Meru, and it shows you this place, the model. Even the Norse mythology, the Tree of Life, got access to meditate, all of them, except for Western theology. That's it. Shit.
Yep, makes you wonder.
There's something really magical in the north, the center, and they don't want us even thinking about it.
Funk It Words, I posted about the other day, and Funk It Words, Nick was in my comments, and he said, as I mentioned, I think you can only see it if you change your vibration enough that you can perceive it. And
I agree.
Yeah. So when your vibration, I'm becoming invisible to the public now. My vibration shifted that much. I mean, cubes, nobody can see me because I'm on a different frequency.
I see you, Martin. I see you, buddy.
Yeah, because we're on the same channel, Bob.
Yeah.
People off that channel, they're all like disturbed anyway, and they all look really fucked up. The whole place looks.
Well, it's a good analogy. That is like J-Tolan median is infrared photography, right? Infrared, what that allows you to do is we can't see an infrared, period, right? But you take an infrared camera or just any camera viewfinder and you take like a remote control and you point it at it, you can see the little light flash. But you take away the camera and you can't see the light flash because it's literally not within your perception, your ability to perceive that frequency. And when you and frequency and abilities to perceive frequencies come with state of mind and vibration and all of that stuff, right? And the more positive you are, the higher the vibration and the more you are able to become cognizant of a wider spectrum, right, of frequencies and conditions, and you start seeing truths. And that's actually what waking up actually is, right? You somehow are starting to see the bigger picture, metaphorically, and yet not metaphorically, right? um it, Everything just takes on these incredible double meanings, but it all starts with the higher vibration, the higher frequencies, and being able to see, comprehend, and understand more than we did before.
Especially the geometry of this place, how we interact with it, especially with our thoughts. Our thoughts are not confined to our minds. That's 100%.
Oh God, that's
Like
so
you said with
amazing.
these dreams, it's just like I have like stacks and stacks of people saying they dream about me. Yeah. So I seen you with mud flooding here, there. I mean, like on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to, I've got sort of, I think it's because I sort of, there's a view about remote viewing.
I know a lot about
Oh,
remote
yeah.
viewing, sir. I
Right,
took
so I
courses
guess
on
that
it.
you
I met
could
Ingo
say I
Swan.
was that a sort of remote viewer, but nobody can remote view me without my permission, which gives me a little bit of it gives me a bit of a hand in this place I'm finding. So that's partly psychic, wouldn't you say? And I think that this place is like just an integrated grid that everything is connected to. There's only one of us here. So when you're thinking about somebody, they definitely 100% can hear you. I'm telling you now. You can have psychic connections with people, guys. You know this. Yeah? You'll be thinking about this person and you pick up the phone and they'll be there. It's like, how did you know? It's like, no shit. Yeah? How many times that happened, guys? Animals,
What book was that from?
especially.
What book was
Sorry?
that from? What book was that from? That saying, "There's only one of us here."
Whew. You got me now.
I'm not sure.
Remember.
Oh crap! I mean, yeah, it was a major book, but I've always loved that saying. There's only one of us here.
I think it's true as well, but they won't like that because people are like, they like opposition, don't they? Whole world is like driven on fear of invisible things and opposition of other things that
Right.
they introduced, which none of it's real anyway. Drop all the opposition in this place. Place heals overnight. No more problems. Everyone
Right.
equal opportunity at the crack of the whip of this place, which they should have anyway. Why is it
Yep.
all fucking one way? Drives me nuts.
The amazing thing about that saying, "There's only one of us here," is the elite, I think, truly understand that, and they've also understand it to the point where they figure that if they can shatter it into a million different pieces and just completely fractalize it, they can rebuild it into another paradigm, a singular paradigm that's a completely different worldview, right?
I think it harks back to the thing earlier that he said, Mark said about just the focus. That if we ever all focused on the right shit, this place would heal instantly. Instead, they've got us all focused 80,000 directions on a bunch of shit that really doesn't matter at all.
Totally.
Distractions.
Wagging the dog.
In this place.
Just wagging the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd love to hinder spiritual growth. They're not really into it, are they? It's like you're moving more away from us. It's like send the army to Lisa Simpson. She no longer believes in democracy. Moment it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that, no matter how well you understand the creation or understand God, that thinking that you could completely alter its parameters and everything about it is really egotistical.
Yeah, man. I had a little thought this morning. I was thinking, shit, the more I seem to be learning, the less I seem to know. How is that even fucking possible?
Yep, I'm in that same boat.
Well wise now, and I'm like, I can't. Like you said with Ken, he's the authority in all subjects. Well, that's not the way forward. That's not the way to learn. You've got to learn off other people, and you learn some new information, like you said, from somebody else. That's the way forward. So there's a lot of people like that. I think they got the answers to everything. That's the way it is. End of period. And we'll argue the case. That's just you don't, because none of us know. Yeah, we know it's not a globe. We don't know what's going on exactly. A lot of people are feeling towards simulation to explain why our new talents for being able to manifest reality to such an acute scale at the moment. It's like, boom, there's no even avoiding it. It's just there. You can't even, if you do get it wrong with your mental abilities, you get like proper karma sort of warnings and stuff. It's like, no, not like that, like this. Okay. You know, so where the fuck is all that coming from? And I'm not the only one getting it. Other people I'm talking to are getting the same experience.
Absolutely. And even if you're a complete dumbass, Martin, you know, people, even complete dumbasses, can have profound moments that are truths that other people can see.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
and I try and keep that in mind, you know, because we tend to look at other people as if they don't agree with our point of view, that, you know, it's somehow less than us, right? But, you know, what I've learned is that it's amazing to kind of just humble up, right? And try and understand exactly what they're saying and where they're coming from. And then sometimes you find that, wow, yeah, I see what you're saying now. And I go through that experience with Cami all the time. Because I mean, she and I speak completely different languages. She, you know, she's a very visual
Yeah,
person.
buddy.
and I'm, you know, very logically based. And, you know, it takes a while, but eventually the message gets conveyed, right? And that's something that I think is important for everybody to realize. Even though we are speaking the same language, that doesn't mean that we're communicating. Not even.
That's a
All
good way
too
forward.
often that is the case.
I think Bob Dylan said it best. We all see the same. We just see it from a different point of view.
Yeah, he says a lot of shit though, don't he? Like when he does his deal with the commander, and then that guy says to him, "Where's the commander?" He says, "Oh, he's not in this world. He's in the other world."
Yeah,
just on
that's so weird. He really thinks he sold his soul to the devil, doesn't he?
He really
Yeah,
does.
sounds like it.
I seen the devil as well, though, Zach. When I was little, I seen the devil. I was maybe 6-year-old or something. I was sat on the toilet, and there was just fucking dude stood in my bath, right? Long fucking black coat, had a sort of like as you'd expect for the devil, a black fucking beard. And he looked around, and I was like really obviously petrified, etc. And he looked around me, and all he said to me, I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, all he said was, "I am the master." And then I pulled the shower curtain, closed my eyes, and prayed to Jesus. And then when I opened it again, it was gone, but I could still feel it there, and it shit me out. So
wow,
it was like, yeah. So like either hallucination as a small kid, maybe high on the bleach, my mother put down the toilet, or that shit really went down. One or the other.
Wow.
I know.
But I had all the filters when we were kids, man. I used to have quite a few different little visions as a child.
I had a vivid imagination, though, you know, because I even thought I went through a tree door down a spiral staircase into another world as well. But I'm sure my sister shares the same memory, so which she does.
I didn't realize that my friend Steve growing up was imaginary until a few years ago. I think my mom told me.
You can manifest him. Have you seen
He was, yeah. Well, they talk about the monks in the Himalayan mountains. They've written about these things. You can make, you know, that's what an imaginary friend is, but you don't have control over this. You're making another consciousness.
Wow.
And they talk about them forming into spectrals that other people can see, and this and that, and turning really evil sometimes, and some are good. And yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. It's like
I'm sure I leave myself all over the place because people say they keep seeing me all over, and I'm all over Britain all the time. I never know where I'm waking up. I wake up. And I'm like,
shout out to Fiveys, my imaginary family. Because a friend isn't good enough for me. I gotta imagine a whole new family.
Only angels.
Shout out to the 12 bastard kids over there on Rockfin too, watching. We appreciate you guys. I know I've neglected you all night, but I appreciate all you guys over there. $10 earned in tips. Ariel, I see you over there.
Reefer Madness. Oh, I read the back of that video the other day. Oh, it put me off. Marijuana forever. Oh, I hope none of that ever happens.
It's bad stuff. The demon leaves.
You know what?
Government board.
In the name, because I live in Missouri here in the U.S., and our little state motto is we're the show me state.
For me.
Right.
Yep.
So I'm just in the name of science. I'm looking to see if any of the things on this movie are true. I will report back as soon as one of these things happens.
It's terrible. Sounds a lot of bad stuff going down.
Yeah. Nowhere near any of it. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of shout outs, thank you, Thunder Chicken, over there on the Tucker Chats. I saw Liz threw one at us as well. Isabella Live 2.0.
Oh, I missed that one. Thank you.
And
You have to
David
excuse
M.
me soon. It's
Thank
getting
you,
on
David.
3
Thank
o'clock.
you, brother.
Yeah, Martin,
Much
thank you so
appreciated.
much, brother.
Oh, it's choking on it.
Thank
Yes,
you
we
all
went
for
to the
those super
toilet, so
chats.
I've learned a lot tonight. I've learned a
Josh.
lot.
Oops.
Yes,
I'm
dear.
sorry, I stepped on you, Martin. I was going to tell you, Josh, that I don't know how to say this, but when I was looking at states and possibilities of moving, I just didn't know if I wanted to move at a state that could be like mispronounced misery.
Well, it wouldn't be so
Manifesting,
bad, but
Martin.
right there,
Oktoberfest.
if you look to the
Oktoberfest.
east, you'll see all that Illinois.
Illinois?
Illinois.
Could-
Maybe you
No,
didn't
you
read
can't
that
put the S
properly.
on it. Don't do
Maybe
that.
you
It
didn't-
makes them mad.
Oh, are you saying it'd be improper to mispronounce the state's name?
Well, it's Illinois. Yeah.
So
Illinois.
I'd if we're misery, it's only because of all the Illinois.
You got it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's slow to the run.
And on that note,
Yes.
Yeah, it might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're going to come back with a 4-hour show.
Well, thank you so much,
Or
Martin.
almost 5. Good.
Well, remember we started a little late. Like I said, I'm sure Liz saw the 6 p.m. start time for us and said, I'm going to take a little nap and come back when they're live. And then she woke up a few minutes ago. So shout out, Liz. We love you.
Show tonight.
Well, I think Liz did wake up at 6 o'clock, and then we weren't there, and there weren't any thumbnails or anything, and so that's why she wanted to know if we started late, because I think she probably gave us until 10 after or something and went back to sleep.
She faded back off.
In all fairness, we were late.
She's got brains. Brian's.
That's
We
why
love
we
you,
love her.
Liz.
That's right.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're
I
definitely
gotta
running
go.
late.
Alrighty, Martin.
They say.
Thank you
Sweet
so
dreams,
much,
sweetie.
brother. Love you, brother.
I'm
See you in the
gonna-
dreams.
I'm gonna have a nice kip now. Okay, my like all floppy, doppy now. All
There you
warm,
go.
happy after a nice chat.
Start having your dreams and focusing on getting your happy ass out here for Flattoberfest.
Yes, sir.
Come on,
Yes, sir.
I've had a sneaky dream, and I think
I will
that's-
meet you there without a doubt if you come, brother.
Listen, that would be fucking tastic. Yeah, it's so
I-
fast.
I think so. Give yourself a few days before and after, at least, so you can like not be
Oh, yeah.
hectic, and just have fun. And
No, I'm not doing hectic.
You have
I'm
to
doing
ramp up and then
chilling.
decompress.
Yeah.
That's it.
you can like just go sit with the plants with us in the river and have
I
some
got pace
nature time.
myself. That sounds more like me. Yeah, river, fields,
Yeah.
grassy bits.
We found a garden center that was a la natural. That was
It looked like something out of Harry
The
Potter.
Wizard's Keep. Yeah, exactly.
it is fabulous. That we'll take you to there. It's like walking through
I spent
magic
6
under
years in the
awnings. And,
garden centre working
oh,
for all this lot. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was so cool because there was no reason to the rhyme. There was just plants everywhere. It was
Chaotic.
amazing.
he knew where all of them were. It was great.
Only
It was
two
a
parking
wonderland.
spots. Only two. You couldn't even see the building. He's got a building with a sign on it and stuff. You can't even see it. There's so many plants growing up in front of it and stuff.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Magical.
Little
You
gem.
need a bit of Chopin to go with that. Classical music. I'm going to go and pass out anyway.
All right,
brother.
man.
Love you
Thank you
much.
so
Be
much.
safe.
Love you, man.
Thank you so much,
Flat
Martin. We will talk
Take
to you
care,
next
buddy.
time.
Nice talking to you, Bob. I can't
Appreciate
wait
all
for,
your hard work.
Can we? That's going to happen.
I hope so.
We just
Definitely.
like manifest.
All right. I'll use the force.
There it is. That's part of it.
Practice what we preacheth.
That's
It's
right.
such a good, fantastic thing.
You're right. You're right. Absolutely, you are.
This might word, might doesn't. It's not a real word. Might means no, I won't fucking do
Yes.
it. Like,
Do or do
maybe.
not. Right. Follow
No,
Yoda.
There is no try.
There is no try. Do
He's
or
not
do
winning
not.
words. He's not winning words. Not with hope.
Oh, Bob, at the garden center that was magical, they did have a, you know how you have your little garden gnomes and that? They did have Yoda.
Oh, awesome.
I know.
I'd have had that.
They had a Yoda gnome. It was the bomb. It was really a great place. It was crazy.
Anyway,
Creekside Nursery. All
Enjoy,
right.
enjoy
Alrighty,
your
Mart.
fields
Love
and
you,
things,
brother.
and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. It looks
Okay.
Sweetest dreams, Martin. Always great to see you.
Lush. Can't wait to see that grow. That'd be really nice.
All right.
right.
Take care, Martin.
All
Bye-bye.
Take care, Bob. Bye, guys. Bye, Voltage. Bye, Josh.
See you,
brother.
Martin.
Love
Thanks
you.
for hanging
Bye,
out. We'll talk
Zach.
at you next time.
Later, Mike.
Hey. Ciao, guys.
All right. Cool.
Well,
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. Again, thanks for
Martin
coming.
is
Absolutely. And
amazing.
thank you for hopping in with us, Bob. Damn, man. It's unexpected and very welcome. Love to have you around.
Cool. Well, I'm glad. Glad I could jump in, and I just felt really compelled to tell Martin. After watching him and the way his personal growth has gone over the last 7 years. Oh my God, he's amazing. I mean, he's confident. He's a different person. I mean,
Yeah.
God, if you knew him 7 years ago, he's nothing like he is today. And he's just absolutely amazing. And I'm so happy for him, So
Oh,
just
but
love
he
the guy.
is. I saw him 7 years ago. He is the same person. He's just in his element now. That was just everything crushing him down and his focus and getting confused by all the crazy negativity and weird stuff.
Yeah, that
And you're
could
right.
be.
As soon as he sat and focused and said, I want to put my energy where I want it to go, and I'm not going to let everybody suck it out from me. We get to see the true Martin. But yeah, he was underneath it. I saw the brilliance underneath it. Before, I mean, at the beginning you could just see it, but you could see the frustration and again the energy suck on it. So now he's in bloom, and I love it. Love Martin.
He's a beautiful individual. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And people are picking up on it, and that's why his streams are going so well. His information is outstanding, and look what he's doing for the community. I mean, wow! The last person in the world I would have ever thought would have sponsored an event like that, would have been Martin Liedtke. But wow, and it was amazing.
Epic.
Did any of you see allegedly Dave his little lecture?
I've not seen it yet.
No,
Oh wow, that will blow your mind.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
People were talking about it in chat this morning, so I know it's got to be something.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. It makes you think. I sent it to you, Cammie. I don't know if you watched it yet or not, but
I haven't been inside it. You saw when I got in when Zach said that, oh my gosh, we're 15 minutes from show, and I came in. But yeah.
I know that panic well.
Yep. So, okay, cool. Well, I think I'm going to bail too, guys. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
Bob.
me on.
Take care, brother. Love you.
Anytime.
Okay.
Don't be a
Love
stranger.
you. I won't.
Okay, and I'm going to bail with my husband and go
All
snuggle
right,
with
lady.
him. Actually,
Love you
do that.
lots too.
Love you lots. See you if not before next Friday, but probably
You
before.
probably will.
So you got it.
Will. If nothing else, you'll hear me and Jen and the rest of the crew.
I'll
cutting
hear
up
you
and
guys
playing.
giggling, and yeah, I
All right.
love that in the plane. Yeah, always part of it. Love it. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye, Cammie.
Peace.
Bye, Bob.
Peace.
I love this cookie.
All right. The nursery.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way he talk.
I like the way you do.
Well, that was a good morning and a good evening show, gentlemen.
He likes the way I talk,
what?
and I like the way he talks. Mm-hmm.
Some of that French tater. Thank you all. Thank you so much for being here and showing up and coming back to hang out with us. We were missed. It's good to see that, and you guys were very missed and needed. Glad you had a good break, Josh. I'm glad you're back. We'll talk on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's like we never didn't not talk. We still talked
No,
for the
but
3 or
yeah,
4 weeks, but it is
we
really
got
good to be able
we
to
need
talk to
we
you
need to, you know,
more than just the one time.
re-platform a bit. So
Yeah, definitely.
No.
My plan is just to delete and start over fresh.
That'll work.
I'd rather have input from the audience and see what I can make happen rather than me try to design something.
Cool.
Oh, she literally waited to the last 5 seconds to step in the middle of it all and it went everywhere. So, but she did good. So the cat, not Michelle.
You never can tell sometimes.
You never know.
All right, well, I guess that's
I
gonna
love
do it.
y'all.
I bought some beats. Might as well use them.
Beat it up, buddy.
I mean, fuck.
Thank you all. Love you all.
Love you guys. Be sure to tune in bright and early on Tuesday over there at tfrlive.com, truthfrequencyradio.com for another exciting episode of The Iron Works. Or you could just wait around. Come right back here next Friday. Who knows what the hell we're going to have. I'll let you know if I find out what the rumors are. If I hear any scuttlebutt, I'll let you know.
Okay.
If I know the lowdown, I'll pass it along. If I catch the big skinny, I'll make sure that everybody else is clued in as well. Anyway, love you guys. Be good, be well, and we will see you next week.